What is going on, gang? Happy Wednesday night. Hope you're all doing well. Sorry I'm a few minutes late. What is good? Shout out to everybody in the chat. Who do we have in here? Jimmy Mathis, what's good? Yeah, we'll get into this too. My man Matt's is in the house. Al Morast. Aiden's in the house. I'm going to talk about this too. Jonathan's here. JJ's here. All right. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Marcel, what's good, man? Been a while, my man. How are you? Donnie's in the house. Brandon. It's good, man. I don't buy the Alex Bregman stuff, so I don't see the point. A couple, they're not the only ones saying they can make a big splash in Bregman, but I can't see it. Other people have said that too, Brandon. Bregman's got the stink of cheating on him. He was so arrogant about it. I don't want him here, personally, but that's just me. Do I doubt his talents? No. He's a good player. But he's going to cost a lot of money. A lot of money. And I don't want that here, to be honest with you. Peter Risberg's in the house. Yeah, disaster Red Sox. Yeah, Tommy John. I mean, this is Scott Boras is going to try to take advantage of the situation, right? He's going to try and get that Boston to desperately overpay for Snell or Montgomery. So we'll get into that too. Jake Boss, what is good? Right. Who else we got in here? Shout out to everybody in the chat. Smash that like button if you don't mind. Let's try to get over 100 as quickly as we possibly can. Lou's in his house. Chocolate CB. What is good? Chocolate CB, in all honesty, I don't see the Mets getting Soto. But yeah, they would probably still wouldn't make the postseason with him. But that's one reason why I can't see them getting Soto. That's just my honest opinion, but you never know. You never know. Yep, man. This is the thing, like, yeah, there's so much chatter about the Mets. Like, it's comical. It's comical. It's ridiculous, man. Jake Boss is good. What is good? And again, like, so this is what I want to talk to you about, right? A lot of folks are already panicking about Carlos Rodon, right? He got hit hard today. Yeah, sure. He gave up a couple of home runs, got hits. Sure. He's got a 3.35 ERA right now in spring training. Okay. But the more important thing is that he's getting through his outings healthy, right? And he's recovering from his outings. He didn't do that last spring. And his pitch count was almost 60 today. So he took the next step in his development, right? And then people are panicking. But let's talk about other guys like Jesus Lazardo's got 8 ERA. People wanted us to trade Spencer Jones for him, right? Corbin Burns, 10.13 ERA. People wanted us to trade Spencer Jones for him too. Remember this? A couple weeks ago? Yeah. Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Remember we were told the offseason would be a failure if we didn't sign him? He's got a 9 ERA. He got tattooed by the White Sox today. 6 hits, 5 runs. Tattooed. Okay, so do you folks worry about these guys? And if not, why are we spending so much time worrying about Carlos Rodon? He's doing this stuff, and this is just my opinion. Constantly, he's in the house too. This is, his velocity is not there yet, even though he's showing he can get to 97, 98 already. But it looks like he's, intentionally scaling back to make sure that he's putting the ball in play and so on. So he will get hit on occasion. Yeah, sure. But, he has a 3.3 ERA. And again, not a lot of sample size in the spring. But, with a 3 ERA, I wouldn't be worrying about him too much. My biggest worry of him would be his health. And so far, he's shown that he's healthy. So, yeah, here we go. Between Luzardo, Burns, and Yamamoto. They have a 9.04 average. Their average is 9.04 ERA. Burns and Rodon's got 3.34. So, why exactly, Robert? He's got to get through spring training 100% healthy. That's most important, okay? But again, why are we worried about him and completely ignoring the putrid performance by some of these other guys, right? Or maybe it's just because it's the spring, and I get that logic. I totally do. Generally at this point, pitchers are not going to be sharper the second time around a rotation as they would the first time, or lineup, I should say, because they're still building up their pitch counts, right? This is common sense. So I don't expect them to be super sharp, and they're not going to get through the lineup at 3 times. So, their pitch counts aren't up there. These guys are not throwing 6, 7 innings yet. But with that said, it's important to keep that in mind for perspective purposes. These guys will get hit hard. Corbin Burns threw 1 scoreless inning his first time. The next time he had 5 runs in an inning, or 4 runs in an inning, or something like that. So it just happens to everybody. This is spring. So, I think it's important to keep that perspective when it comes to Carlos Rodon. Okay, we're looking at him to be healthy. First and foremost, right? We're looking at progression points from Carlos Rodon, looking at progression points and improvements from Marcus Stroman. We're getting these things right now. It's being done in a low-key manner, but Corbin Burns, we need. I don't know about that. We didn't need him for Spencer Jones, JJ. And remember, he's going to come with a QO next year. QO, and no matter what, Burns. So we'd have to give up what we'd be giving up for Blake Snell right now. So, that's something to keep in mind too. Do I think he's better than Snell? Yes. Yes, I do. Yes, Carl, exactly. He still has a lot to work on, but again, he took his next progression point, okay? And progression points for these guys are a little bit different. We're looking for health from Marcus Stroman. He's showing that right now. He pitched better his second time compared to his first time. And what do you call him? Nestor Cortez is showing in the next part of his development too. So, and he's shown that he can be healthy and recovering too. So he was on the IL 3 times last year. So we're looking for different progression points from these guys. So, and different next steps in their, improvement. So, and that's the key. Rodon's got some things to work on, no doubt about it. But again, like I said, his ERA is 3.34. Yoshinobu Yamamoto is 9. Corbin Burns, 10.13. Jesus Lazaro is 8. So, if we're not going to panic about those guys, why are we going to spend so much time to panic on Rodon? No info on Snell and JJ right now. All we know is that he wants to be signed, and he lost his. I guess he lost his opportunity with the Yankees. Why would they come back a third time? They gave him a bigger offer, and then they even upped the AAV in the second time. At no point in time did he get an offer from any other team. So, there was nothing more than Hal or Cashman could have done. This is on Snell and this is on Boris, not the Yankees. So I'm not here to do Boris any favors or to bail them out. No. He's still gonna try now and capitalize on this. The Red Sox injury and some of these other guys getting Tommy John, other pitchers getting hurt. He's gonna try and capitalize on this for Montgomery and capitalize on this for Snell. This is one of the opportunities that it sounds like Scott Boras is waiting for, right? A major injury to happen. And it's happened now with Lucas Giolito. Would I be surprised if one of those guys went to Boston? No. Not at all. So, and this is the thing, but you could be right. I think Monty will throw more than 120 innings. I think Monty will probably be at 150, 160. I mean, at this point, they only have 22 days left. It's 22 days today from opening day. So they do not have enough time to build up their arm strength and their pitch counts for a full season. In order to get a full spring, they're going to have an abbreviated season, period. Or if they want a full season, it's going to be an abbreviated spring. One or the other, they're choosing from 2 crappy options. So, and again, and I get it, the cat too. People are nervous about Rodon. I get it, He was awful last year because he was hurt in the spring. He wasn't ready. So, he's healthy now. So, and I understand people worrying his velocity's not there, but he's got a 3.3 ERA without throwing 97, 98, even though he's touched that already, 97, 98. There are other things that he's working on right now. So, I don't know about about the pitching version of Joey Gallo. I'm not sure. I mean, Gallo definitely couldn't handle the big stage here. I mean, Rodon's got bulldog in him. He does have bulldog in him, but we need him to, we need him to have a better year than next year. I mean, than last year. So there's no doubt about that. And I understand why people could still be nervous about it until he shows otherwise. Can't blame people for being nervous around it. And honestly, can't blame them. No. Now, excuse me, folks. The chat is scrolling pretty fast, so I'm missing a lot of stuff here. I'm trying to catch up, so my apologies there. Scrolling pretty quickly. Hit them likes button, by the way. If you don't mind, gang. Let's get over 100 likes as quickly as we can. We got 96 people in here now. No, it's spring training. All these guys, the pitchers, pitchers are generally ahead of hitters in terms of timing in the beginning. At some point, it usually switches around because the pitchers need to work on their pitch count. They need to work on their endurance. They're building that base, while the hitters generally only need to work on their timing and their reflexes. So it's a different, system of preparation that they're embarking on to get ready for ready for regular season. So, and again, Mets. I think the Mets will bring back Alonso. Alonso, he's their franchise. I mean, they'd be crazy to not bring him back. So, for how much I don't know, but I don't know about CWI. I wouldn't call Yamamoto bust yet, but I'm not calling him the second coming either. There's so many people. Remember this? Like a couple of months ago, people saying it's a failure of an offseason if we don't get Yamamoto, Yamasoto this, Yamasoto that. Right? I don't care at all that we didn't get him. I care less. Hope he does well with the Dodgers. I mean, good for him. But did people think that major league teams are not going to catch up to him? Right? Just like they're going to catch up to Roki Sasaki when he comes. They're going to catch up to him too. They just are. So, yeah, Liam Hendricks. Well, yeah, he's coming off Tommy John, Peter. So he won't come pitch until after the All-Star break. Yeah, I mean, the Red Sox are unfortunately decimated right now with injuries. So they need to still do some things. Rodon's ERA is 3.35, Joseph. Let's see. Where is it? Unless that hasn't been updated. Where is it? It said 3.35. Spring training stats. Now I can't find it anywhere. And now it's updated to 635. Still lower than all the other guys. Yep. 5 2/3 innings pitched. 6 strikeouts. The other guys are still far worse than his. And this is what his, he got hit hard one inning today. He gave him two home runs today. So I'm still not worried that much about Carlos Rodon. He's healthy. So that's a plus. It's a net plus for the Yankees. Ollie, I think Stanton will have some kind of bounce back season. Yes. Yeah. So Neil, man, the Yankees better act quickly and sign you. They better sign you quickly before you get off the market, man. Before the Rangers sign you. Shoot, man. 51 likes. All right, we're halfway at it. We're halfway to 100. Let's get there. Let's get there, gang. Smash that thumbs up if you haven't done that yet. Please do. I greatly appreciate it. It's always helpful in these live streams when you do this. So, yeah, Soto has family in the Bronx. He said it himself. So, yeah, I mean, what's the benefit of him going to the Mets? In all honesty, they're a far inferior team, now and in the near future. So, and I could see the Mets getting Corbin Burns over Juan Soto this offseason. I can see that. And now that Kodai Senga, I mean, who knows how long he's going to be out? So who else is in their rotation? Sean Manaea? Like, I don't know. Pitch command. He looked like he was out of shape too, JJ, last spring. He looked like he was out of shape. So, has anybody noticed that his pitching arm is so much bigger than his right arm, which is crazy. Just unless it's like extrapolated on TV, but like, what the hell? Oh man. Well, we'll see what he does in October if the Dodgers make it that far, Donnie. You know. So I'm not really gonna spend my time talking about Yamamoto. He's not on the Yankees, so I mean, I can care less. Will he show to be good? Yeah. Will he get lit up? He'll get lit up too. Both. People think that people seem to think that teams are not going to catch up to him. They will. They will. Is Soto really the best player? I think he's the most complete player on the Yankees. Harold. I mean, he's had the best spring offensively of any of their bats. That's for sure. So, you know what I mean? Yeah, Torres, Narvaez look good. Gleyber Torres seems to be finding his rhythm again too offensively. We need, I'm glad to see Oswald Peraza back in there. We need Oswaldo Cabrera to kind of catch up with the bat a little bit too. So, there's still some things that need to be moving forward. So little by little, their starting pitching rotation is, coming to place. So, and their bullpen is rounding shape too. Keep an eye on Nick Birdie. He's kind of definitely positioning himself for a bullpen spot. He's throwing darts. He's 31 years old too. He's a journeyman. What if Brian Cashman sits down with Jordan Montgomery and has a nice chat over dinner? Montgomery is very emotional. If he signs him, fantastic. Okay, yeah, fantastic. Yeah, we just talked about that, Joseph Rodon's ERA. Yeah. I don't know if it messed up his power. I mean, he if you look at he made some adjustments in his swing, CWE. So did Anthony Volpe. So, I think that it's going to take him some time, but his swing is a lot more level. So I think he's going to put the ball in play more. So maybe a lot more gap hits, but I could still see him pretty much easily getting 25 to 30 home runs, Giancarlo Stanton, especially if he stays healthy. Most definitely. So, yeah, I mean, people said he was the second coming, people said shit if he's in the house. I'm not panicking either. Not panicking either, brother. This is 375 CWE. 375. They paid 325 for Yamamoto and a $50 million posting fee. No, yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. Yeah, they will just like Roki Sasaki. They're going to catch up to Roki Sasaki too. I understand why people are excited about Roki Sasaki, but people keep saying he's going to be better than like all these major league aces and like that. You know how many guys throw 102 in the majors? It's more than just a few. A lot of guys throw 102. Yeah, Stanton will be fine. He's one of the strongest hitters in all of baseball. So, with Soto and Judge, I hope they take Yamamoto deep when he comes to town. I hope he pitches when he comes to New York. So I really do. Well, one of the three young pitchers, I would say, if anybody's going to be in there, Harold, probably Will Warren, but not until probably May or June, because that'll get him an extra year service time. Yankees an extra year service time. So, and again, like he threw 120 innings last year, so then I don't think these guys want to throw him to the wolves right away. That's why you have guys like Luke Weaver, who can make it easier to ease in Will Warren or Clayton Beater, make it easier to protect Carlos Rodon and Nestor Cortez too. So it's yeah, man. Yeah, it's one bigger than the other. Federico, I didn't know that. I don't think Stanton will bat 190. Yeah, Warren, Hampton, and Beater. I think Warren will probably be the first guy to make it up. Beater might make it in here in the bullpen for all we know. We don't know yet. We don't know. Yeah, 6 hits, 5 runs. He got lit up by the White Sox today. 71 likes. All right, we're getting there. Yeah, I don't call people an AC to be like, you got to prove that you're an ace here. And having one good game in the season is not making an ace. You got to have a full season of good ace type of play before I wouldn't even consider calling you an ace. Like Garrett Cole is an ace. Corbin Burns is an ace, right? Dylan Cease, not an ace. So, Justin Verlander, ace. So, but I do think Beater probably will. What do you call it? I think Beater might get a shot in the bullpen. They may need a fresh arm at some point. So, no, Beater, Luis Hill pitched pretty decent today, 2 innings, up and around, but he's coming back off Tommy John too. Michael Ryan, what's good, my man? He got lit up by the White Sox today, Sunil. Yeah, without Jackie Robinson, exactly, Sunil. He got lit up. Hampton, I would agree. Hampton will get called up in 2025. I would agree. Yep. Does Rodon, Nestor Cortez, and Mark Stroman have any trade value? I don't know. And if any one of those guys are going to get traded, it'll be Nestor Cortez. Rodon's not going to get traded. Stroman ain't going to be traded. So, Yamamoto stats, he's got like a 9 ERA right now, baby. I mean, just today he had 6 hits and gave up 5 runs to the White Sox today, Dave. He got lit up by the White Sox. I think Peraza will have more trade value if he gets played regularly in AAA. If he's not up in the majors, and which I don't think he will be. So they would need to continue to play him regularly in AAA, just like Yorbit Vivas, because I think if anybody's going to make it to the majors and be a full-time player, it's probably going to be Yorbit Vivas instead of Peraza. I think the Yankees kind of missed the opportunity to get Peraza up here. Unfortunately, I would have rather had him than Josh Donaldson at third base, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah, Schmidt's flying under the radar. If he shows the ability to get lefties out as well as he does righties, that would be the next, progression point, or one of the next progression points for Clark Schmidt too. There's like very particular progression points I think that these guys are looking to accomplish. So, Sunil, I mean, they hate the fact that the Yankees got Soto. And, I think a lot of them are under the impression that because Uncle Steve Cohen has a gazillion dollars that he could just outbid anybody, which is true in most cases. But if the Yankees want somebody, they're not going to get outbid. Not even by the man. Not even by him. Right? Yeah, he needs a little bit of time. A little bit of time to get used to. Just moved from Cali to Texas. So, yeah. Yes, indeed. But there are some pretty spots in Texas, too. No doubt about it. The only way I could see Torres being traded at the deadline is if the Yankees are out of contention. If they're in contention, I can't see him being traded. I think he'll just get a QO and then walk, and the Yankees will get some draft picks and international money. Now, yeah. Yeah, the 3 guys I'm with you too, Anafi. The 3 guys that I feel the best about are Cole, Schmidt, and Stroman at this point. I would agree with that. Yeah. And again, these are the development points for pitching right now. They're building up their pitch counts. So we can't expect them to be sharp for more than 20 or 30 pitches, So there you go. And that's the key, man. Like, that's the key. No, it's going to take these guys a little bit of time. Spencer Jones, he didn't fizzle out, JJ. What are you talking about? He batted like 600 this spring. They sent him to the minors, which was expected, to continue to play and continue to develop. They saw what they needed to see. He wasn't going to, break with the team, fortunately. Just like, Paul Skeens from Pittsburgh. They already told him he's not going to break with the team either. He was a #1 draft pick, one of the best pitchers this generation in college, and he didn't even make the team in Pittsburgh Pirates. So I'm not surprised Jones didn't make it, but I'm glad he, well, exactly, Davey. Yeah, and he's also savvy enough to know that his investments didn't work last year. So he's going to rebound. He's going to be more strategic moving forward with these guys, with the moves that he makes. But he's investing in his product in different ways. He's building a fortress around Citi Field. For those that haven't heard, he's going to spend either a couple billion or something like that to build like a community around. It's going to be like Disney World around Citi Field. So, he's definitely taking a long-term approach here. Well, he's not going to pay exactly. I mean, so many people, Davey, expect Yankee fans to just overpay for Blake Snell. He already had 2 chances. Why are we gonna give him a third? I don't want to bail him out. I don't want to bail Scott Boras out either. No. Yes, exactly, Jake Boss. For those that don't know, Spencer Jones did not have one single swing and miss the entire spring in like 80 pitches. That's remarkable. Absolutely remarkable. Domingo Germán is still not signed. He's still not signed. So, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand the whole. Yeah, exactly, Fritz. They want somebody they got Soto, and they want, they're going to keep him. They will keep him. It'll hurt financially, but it's supposed to when you have a generational player. Just like the Dodgers, they made a savvy move with Shohei Otani. If I haven't heard, like I broke this down earlier, and like I was talking to NFE and Mikey Mazin 420 Express, we had Scott Braun on last night. Well, he had Scott Braun on last night, and by the way, NFE, where is this thing? Man, I'm gonna take a photo of this really quickly. I just saw the good evening, Chris Schmidt. Just saw your request here, Mazza. I'm sending this to you, and I'm sending this to NFE if you guys want to come on, because we could talk about this if you'd like. The invite to the link. So we were talking about this yesterday, and I think folks, people, we heard this like perceived value that the $700 million contract that Shohei Otani signed is not worth $700 million. It's going to be worth differently because it's stretched out the way that it is and it's deferred. He's going to get every dollar of the $700 million. Okay, that's the way the contracts are fully guaranteed in baseball. And again, keep hearing, oh, it's only worth this. It's worth $700 million. That's exactly what he's going to get. Worth doesn't mean anything. It's going to be what he gets. Okay, and he's going to be making $2 million a year over the next 10 years while he's playing. Okay, that's what he's going to be taxed on. He's also going to make obviously about $40-50 million a year in endorsements and blah blah blah. After he plays, which he's likely going to be retired, he's going to make $68 million a year for the next 10 years. Well, he will not be playing, so therefore he will not be employed in the state of California. He would not be subject to their state taxes. Okay, he set it up in a very strict way, and he's taking advantage of loopholes that are there for guys like him to take advantage of. Okay, this is basic economics. I have a degree in. Okay, okay, how it's distributed on it. Okay, he's going to pay more money on the $2 million. Power hit. Do you know anybody else that's in the big type teams who get that type of benefit? No. Okay. Because Washington Typhoons, with Mikey and then Scott brought last night too. Washington Typhoons will make it for the $200,000 base salary. They'll pay the same tax rate plus, and then they'll get $100 million bonus. That's loophole carried interest, and they'll pay almost a 0% tax rate. Okay, and what's your take on that, Mazza?
What's up, Jason?
What's your take, man? What's your thoughts, man?
What's up?
What are your thoughts? People are telling me your audio is blocking my audio.
Oh, my bad.
Hold on. How is it now, gang? How's my audio now?
Good.
Can you hear me now, gang?
Yep. I got you.
Hold on, I want to make sure that everybody else can hear too. Terrible. People, my audio is still not working now. Oh, wait. Is it better now? We got NFE on 2 from the strike zone. You look like Ghost Dog from the movie Ghost.
I look like who?
Ghost Dog. You ever see that movie with Forrest Whitaker?
I honestly have not, so I look like him, huh?
Oh, my God. You
That's
gotta see
scary.
this dude's like a samurai ninja. And he wears a black hoodie all the time. And he's like, thank you. Okay, cool. Sounds better. No.
Well, at least I know nobody will mess with me, so that's good.
Exactly. What's your guys' take on this? We were just talking about the Otani contract.
Yeah.
I want to know what your thoughts are. I want to know are you guys worried about Rodon like some other people are worried about Rodon? Like I said too, like if I understand his velocity is not where it's going to be, and I think that can afford he's outside, Consiglietti. He's out. NFT's outside.
That's right. You can't see me.
Yeah, his velocity's not there, and I think he's intentionally keeping it a little bit lower, even though he's shown he's already hit 98. So, but he's kind of intentionally keeping it lower because he wants to keep the ball in the zone, and he got hit today, right? So, but again, who's not getting hit? Yamamoto got his ass by the White Sox.
I'm really not worried about Rodon. I'm really not. I don't know why people are so worried that he's going to have another shitty season. I'm really not that worried about him, especially since the 3 people that everybody wanted us to get and the 2 of them who they wanted us to trade Spencer Jones for have a combined ERA or an average ERA of 9.04. Why should I be worried about Rodon when those 3 have that high of an ERA combined as an average? And I'm not saying it's not spring training because it is, but when you get lit up by the White Sox like that, that's a problem. That just goes to show you that his stuff is being picked up on, and major league hitters are picking up on his movement and what he's doing and how he's pitching. And if NFE, I think, has said that his motion was kind of an odd motion because it looks like he's just throwing it, and it is. He's just pushing it. He's forcing it. People don't see that. He's forcing it, which is why hitters in Japan couldn't hit him. But in the majors, people are going to pick up on that, and they're going to feast off of that.
Mm-hmm.
A prime example of it is for today, or his previous, or the start he just had.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, we get a little bit of light for NFT there. A little bit of light.
So here's my thought on Rodon, man. I do think that he didn't have a great outing, but I mean it wasn't necessarily his worst outing, right? And it's spring training, so these games are exhibition games. We can't take it this serious. This is where players are making their adjustments. They're working on things. They're trying to perfect their craft. So let's not panic yet. And as far as the regular season goes, and I was kind of chatting it up with some Yankees fan on X or Twitter. Nice.
Those boys.
But that's funny.
Go
But
ahead, man.
no, you're good. You're good. But I was saying, I was chatting it up a little bit with a Yankees fan on Twitter. He was like, how many starts should we worry before we panic about Rodon? And I said, let's give him 5 starts. Let's worry about 5 starts in the regular season. If it's rough, then let's kind of worry. Let's worry about it. But right now with spring training, I wouldn't stress it right now. I mean, yeah, again, after that solo home run he gave up in the first inning, he pitched fine. He started to find the groove. Then he gave up that 2-run shot, and up until that point, like he was pitching well. Like you have to remember, in the regular season last year when he was pitching, the guy was out of there by like the first inning, second inning.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, it's progress. Little, slowly but surely, progress was made. Let's just see where it goes. And like you brought up in your short there, Jason, about Luzardo and Corbin Burns having some high ERAs. Why are people not saying anything about them? And Mazda shared that thing with me about Yamamoto. Like, why isn't anybody talking about how Yamamoto got knocked around by the White Sox? Like, now people are going to say, oh, well, it's just one game. So when it comes to them, it's one game. When it comes to Rodon, oh, well, this guy was a bad pickup. Blame Cashman. Like, come on, people. So
It's like, let's come back to reality for a second. You're going to knock Rodon? Fine. If you're going to knock him, then you got to knock those other guys too.
right.
Because you know what? Get it? He gave up 4 home runs in a practice session. Oh, well, it was a practice session.
Yeah.
But no one is talking about Burns, Luzardo, or Yamamoto getting shelled. Why is that? That's right, because all they see, and those 3 are pitchers we should have gotten.
I mean, we were fed Yamamoto all off season, and we were fed it's going to be a failure of an off season if we didn't get him. Yamamoto this, Yamamoto that. He's human. He's going to get hit.
Yeah.
Okay. Did we expect him to have a 140 ERA in the majors? No one in the world that has a career ever 140 ERA in the majors. So no.
It was Yamamoto or bust. That's how it was the whole offseason.
Yep.
Is it the end of the world that we didn't get Burns, Luzardo, or Yamamoto? Absolutely not.
No.
We still have enough depth in our rotation and in our pitching staff in the minors and in the majors that if we needed, we could use it. So we need to stop panicking and start looking at the positives of this. And I want to bring up a point that someone in the chat brought up earlier, which is pitching in Japan is not like pitching in the majors. It's like pitching in AAA. So it's a good point because the majors is a very different beast than the MPB. So yes, is there an adjustment period that needs to be made? Absolutely. But at the same time, you have to look at the hitters in the majors and how quickly they pick up on guys' movement, control, stuff, all that. So it's just something to think about.
Yeah, and Jason, tell me if I'm wrong, but isn't Rodon working on some pitches that were new to him, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, two new off-speed pitches. So he's working on the new repertoire, and it's going to take him a while to get his pitching repertoire down. So, this is another thing he's working on.
Yeah.
So what you're telling me is he's putting in the work to become better, not worse.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to make sure I understood you.
Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, because I had read something about that. I'm like, okay, again, this is spring training, and these are some pitches that he's trying to work on, the things he's trying to work on, and why not? Matt Blake is trying to make it better, so we'll see what happens. Like I mentioned in the chat too, the 3 guys I'm not worried about is Cole, Stroman, and Schmidt. I'm not worried about those guys. The Cortez and Rodon are the ones I'm keeping an eye on. So
Yeah, no doubt. Oakley Turner here. What's he saying? What's
mhm.
What's up, man? What's up, Oakley?
You're
How we
good,
doing?
Oakley.
Don't you think Glaber might take a cue? Oh, yeah. I mean, if the Yankees give him a qualifying offer, he won't take it. No, he'll turn it down because he's going to make. If he has a good season, he's going to make a huge contract this offseason. So it makes sense for him to turn down the qualifying offer in favor of a big contract. And if he does that, then they'll get 2 draft picks and they'll get $20 million in international money. What the same thing they'd be giving up for Blake Snell, they'd be getting back for Gleyber Torres. So I don't think keep getting sound stuff here. Hang on. Naz, I got you muted because the noise is coming around your side there.
That's fine.
All right. So yeah, he does enjoy being a Yankee, but that said, Oakley, the Yankees have a lot of infield depth in the farm and coming up. So they could replace him credibly. And if he comes back, he comes back. Would I complain? No. But I don't know if he would, because they would probably have to pay him $25 million a year. I'm guessing it would probably be like a Marcus Semien type deal where he got 7 years, $25 million per, $175 million, and he was like 31. Torres is going to be 27, so he, he's going to get paid one way or another, Oakley. And like I said, if he comes back to the Yankees, I wouldn't complain. I just don't think that that's going to happen. I think they're going to do. I think re-signing Juan Soto is going to be priority number one, no matter what.
Plus, Torres is going into his prime, just to put that out there.
Yeah, exactly. Torres going into his prime. He's going into a contract year, and that's important. What do you think, NFA?
Yeah, man, Torres. My God, he's one of those guys that there's certain players that I'm just like, hey, you know what? I'm okay if he walks and signs with another team. Like I felt that way, for example, with Robinson Cano. When he signed with the Mariners, I really did not care. I was like, good, cool. Like, good luck to you, man. I just felt like I feel like the Yankees did the right thing by not signing him back for what he was asking for. So that was a good move. I was probably one of the few fans that was actually in favor of it, and whereas other fans were, pissed off. I was like, nah, I'm actually okay with him leaving. But anyway, with Torres, it's complicated because I really like Torres. I really like him. I like the guy a lot. His bat is really good. Defensively, there's a lot of question marks. He's not the worst second baseman. He's a good second baseman. I'll give credit where credit is due. But last season there was some lack of defensive plays that he made, and
lack of focus, lack of hustle too.
Yeah, lack of focus, lack of hustle. That was going to be the next thing, was the hustle. He lacked hustle at some of these games, and I was just like, look, it's like, Gleyber, your bat is great. You're a cool guy. You're always a positive dude in the clubhouse. Everybody likes to be around you, but at the end of the day, baseball, I hate to say it, unfortunately, it is a business. So what's going to make the most sense? I like Gleyber. He's going to be one of those guys that I don't think the Yankees are going to sign him back, but whatever team he signs with, I will miss him.
Oh yeah.
I will.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, there are teams that are in need of a second baseman. Seattle is one of those teams. I'm not saying that they're going to sign him, but that's one team. And NFE, to your point about how you were happy we didn't sign back Cano, you make a good point, because look what ended up happening with Cano. He goes to Seattle, gets traded from Seattle to the Mets, pops twice for PEDs, and is no longer in Major League Baseball.
He just signed with the Mexican League yesterday.
Yeah.
Facts.
The other thing I was going to say real quick about Cano too is that, when you look at Cano, he's better than Torres when you think about it. You know,
Mhm.
he was a better second baseman. He was a better hitter than Torres was.
He was on a
But
Hall of Fame path before he
right,
went the
yeah.
rails.
Or
But
he popped twice.
I just don't think the thing with Cano, he just he didn't come through when it mattered. There was a lot of times where he did not he struck out a lot. You know, he had a lot of strikeouts, and
He had a
you know,
high strikeout rate. You're absolutely right.
very, yeah. And when it came to the playoffs, the guy was a no-show, right? Um, he did well in 2009, but that's because the team, they had a stacked team that year. But in those other years, just didn't come through when he should have. And I'm not hating on Cano. I liked him, but he was just one of those guys that I was happy with him, signing with another team. My feelings were not hurt. I wasn't losing sleep over. But Torres is different though. He's I don't know, man. It's complicated.
Mhm.
It's kind of
I
a
think I know
bittersweet.
where you're going with that, NFP, and it's like Torres is a special talent. And
Yeah.
it's one of those kinds of talents that comes around very rarely, not ever so often, but with Torres' ability to play and his bat and his personality, I see where you're going with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I understand that, and I agree with that. It is going to be hard to say goodbye to him,
Yep.
but
Yeah.
I don't think the Yankees are going to want to pay him $25 million, especially when they have to pay Soto to try to retain him.
Yeah.
So I think Soto is going to be that priority. Now, if they so choose to try to re-sign Torres, fine, they will. But I don't see it happening. I could see, Jorbit Vivas coming and taking over. I mean, we have all these young kids in the system. We've got Peraza, we've got Vivas, we've got Arias in the next couple of years. We've got
Mm-hmm.
Lombard after that. So we have a plethora of infielders that can easily slide into that second base role. And I hear a lot of folks saying that, oh, well, Volpe should be the second. He's not going to second base. Let's just end that now. He's not going to second base.
I
The
mean,
Yankees made him a shortstop of the Yankees for a reason. So we
Mhm.
got to give him a chance to play short and see how he does. And if you looked at the game against the Mets this year for spring training, he has defensively gotten much better.
yeah.
Mhm.
And there was a question that Oakley asked.
Yeah.
Um, he's
It's
saying the Yankees could sign Soto and still keep one of Torres, Rizzo, or Verdugo. Question is which one, if any of the three. If you ask me, now Rizzo, let's keep in mind he has an option for 2025. So I would say, if let's just say the Yankees were to go out of those three, I would honestly keep Rizzo.
between Verdugo, Torres, and Rizzo. I would keep Torres.
You would keep Torres. Okay. Okay.
If it were me, I'd probably keep Torres too.
Yeah.
Because I think what my feeling is they're probably going to try to have Spencer Jones play first, and that's just my thinking. That's just speculation. So please
Mm-hmm.
don't take this as me saying I have inside people on the inside that Spencer Jones. I don't. Let's not go there. I'm just
I thought
speculating. I
saying
have
that
a
so.
feeling that they're probably going to have Jones get reps at first, so that if Rizzo does end up leaving, they can have Jones, Dominguez, Soto, and Judge all in one lineup. That would be
Exactly.
the only way they could do it.
Exactly. We're kind of just using our head here too. Like having Jones at first means you don't have to choose between him and Dominguez. You can have both of them at the same time because
Yeah.
Dominguez would be in the outfield, and you have Soto and Judge. Right?
Yeah.
So
I
I
think the
think
only reason why I said Rizzo was because just Verdugo, I just see him. I don't see him signing back I don't see the Yankees signing him back because they have a plethora of outfielders.
yeah,
My thing with Rizzo is that you can still have him on the team and then still have Spencer Jones come up and he could still fill in. And it's just with Torres, like Mazza mentioned, they have a ton of infielders in their system right now. And that's the reason why I was saying Rizzo if I was to say out of those three. And he probably and what is Rizzo's 2025 option? Like what's his price tag?
I think it's like 14 or 15 million, or
Yes,
might be less than that.
So it wouldn't
But I'm
cost.
not sure.
That's the other thing. Like if we're talking about the cost of it, like he would be a lot cheaper than Torres. You know, well, I mean it's for 1 year, granted, but
yes.
Torres. Yeah, so he would be like what, 14 or 15 million?
Something like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
and Torres is also he would be 8 years younger than him too. So
Mm, right.
that's something to keep in mind as well. And if Torres has a good year, I think. I mean, I do think it makes more sense to keep. If you had to choose between the three, I would choose Torres. But again, I mean, other people would probably feel differently. So, you know,
Yeah. And the other thing I thought about too with the whole Rizzo thing is just just the whole veteran presence and him and his chemistry with Aaron Judge.
mhm.
Because Judge definitely he's learned a lot, I believe, from Rizzo in these last few years.
Rizzo's a leader. He's a pro. So
Yeah.
he's stand up. He's a stand up dude. Like he's a pro. He's as pro as it gets. Like this is why you see when Judge is hanging out, it's usually with Rizzo and DJ. When they're at Knicks games, when they're at Rangers games, chugging beer, it's with those two guys. So
Hey, we got Hector in the chat.
Hector's in the house, baby.
What's up, Hector?
Sports, but to Oakley's point here too, like in present day money, but they're and I'll just say this: they're in no situation will they not pay him every cent of the $700 million.
Oh, they're
700
absolutely.
million is 700 million, no
Yep.
matter how you spin it.
Yep.
And either which way or another, he is going to get paid every single dime of that contract. It doesn't matter if it's going to be 440 million now and then the rest later. He's
We got
getting
Jigga in
paid
the chat too.
700 million.
You got Jiggas in the house too.
Yeah, my you can't see me, but I'm doing my Jigga salute.
So Tyler, you see playing. How's it a waste of talent when he's known for his, I know he's got elite speed and all that stuff, but how are you going to fit him? How would you fit him in the outfield? And essentially, the only reason he would play the outfield is because of his defense, right? So, and if Dominguez, how would you make that work? How would you justify that, Tyler? Putting him in the outfield, and who would you move? Because then you're going to have to move Soto or Judge in order to make that happen. And again, is he? They call him. Did they call him the left-handed version of Aaron Judge for his glove or for his bat?
For his bat.
For his bat. So I do think Verdugo. Yeah, I think if Verdugo has a good year, Donnie, he gets a QO and he leaves.
Yep. I agree with that, and I think what is probably going to happen next year is Rizzo's probably going to leave. Verdugo's going to leave. Torres is going to leave. They're more than likely going to make a good enough offer to re-sign Soto. They're going to have Jones play first because they're going to have either Judge or Dominguez in center and then the other in left.
Probably.
And I was gonna say too, because I saw the comment about Giancarlo Stanton, and this will make Jigga happy. But I really do hope Giancarlo has a bounce back year this year, man. I really do.
I love Stanton.
I like Giancarlo Stanton. I do too, man. I just I just hope he avoids the injured list, and I hope he makes a comeback. I hope he has a comeback year. I want him to kill it. I really do. I think he will. I feel pretty good about him.
I like what James Rosen has done with him. He's leveled out his swing, so I could see Stanton having a more productive year. And again, like if we get 25 or 30 home runs out of him, and he plays 130, 140 games, I'm a happy camper, man. Happy camper.
And the fact that he slimmed down too, he's looking fantastic with that slimming down.
Yeah, and he's still. This guy can check swing a 400-foot home run.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not really worried about his power.
I'm just going to make one last point, then I'm got to head upstairs. But I think Stanton, this is going to be the year that Stanton comes back and really proves everybody wrong. And as much as I am saying this, I am also very hopeful about it. I don't think he's going to – I think with him slimming down, it's going to make it a lot easier for him to stay healthy. And I really do think that he will have a bounce-back year.
No, hell yeah. I think he's going to have a – I mean, I think he'll have a bounce back. I think, Anthony Volpe will take another step in progression. I think Rodon's going to have a bounce back. Now, I don't know if it's going to be Cody Bellinger level bounce back, but it'll still be a bounce back.
Of course.
So,
I'm going to dip out, guys. And, Jason, thank you for having me on.
you got it, brother.
NFB, I'll see you tomorrow morning, and we will have some fun with that.
Yeah. So. Tomorrow morning, everybody tune in, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Mazda and I are gonna go live, so it's a big day. It's gonna be a fun day. It's actually gonna be a special day, and we'll let you know why. Just tune in.
Deuces, guys.
No doubt about it. Yeah, Michael Ryan, to your point too, Otani, I can't see him pitching 5 years, in all honesty. But if he pitches 5 good years and he hits well, then $700 million is probably justified. Again, if he doesn't pitch, then his contract up. So I'm telling you, like Scott Boras, and I'm not saying Scott Boras is going to get it for Juan Soto, but he's going to ask for it. He's going to ask for it. Okay, Otani set the new threshold with this contract. Scott Boras likes to represent threshold setters, right? He's going to want Soto to set the new threshold, right? So, like I said, again, I don't know if he's going to get it, but he's definitely going to try. I mean, why would he not? Why would he not? So, yeah, and Dominic, this kid, Nick Birdie, yeah, he has definitely that nasty. He's throwing darts right now, absolute darts in the bullpen. He's a 31-year-old journeyman, but he's throwing like upwards of 100 miles an hour. So, 94, like 6 more to get to 100, gang. Let's get those other likes.
I like Nick Birdie. I'm liking some of the stuff that he's throwing. He's looking good. He's looking good for sure.
We know Otani's a two-way player, but he's also 30 now. He's also 5 years older than Soto. And if you look at their stats, Soto's got a better batting average, he's got a better on-base percentage, he's got a world title, he's got a home run derby title. Otani doesn't have any of those. None of them. And he's not an ace pitcher either. He's a good pitcher. He's not an ace pitcher.
Yeah. So, and real quick.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say with Otani, I think he's only, as far as him pitching, because he's not going to pitch at all this year. He'll be 31 next year or 32.
31, yeah.
31. I don't think I think he's got maybe 3 or 4 more years left of pitching, 4 at the most. Just he had 2 Tommy John surgeries, and I don't know, for a starting pitcher that could be bad news.
Yeah, and I'm not doubting his bat. His bat is elite.
His bat is great. Yeah.
But would I be surprised if he only got 2 good years out of him? No, I would not. But again, like, he's the most marketable player in the West Coast, which is one reason why the Dodgers structured the contract. They also structured it to make room in the short term to bring in guys like Yamamoto and all this other stuff. He cleared that economic path for them. So, and it's a good investment on their part. And again, the outlay that he has, and then the Dodgers are now run by like investment gals. So like, it was a very, very savvy investment. And again, he's taking advantage of every loophole in the system right now.
Yeah, the way Scott Braun broke that down was, I like the way Scott broke it down. It made a lot of sense because, we had to remember that a lot of that money was deferred. So he's going to get the good chunk of that money in 10 years, starting in 10 years. And then it's going to go from, 2034 to 2043.
Yeah, and keep it in. And the thing I pointed out earlier is that when he's not playing, he's not going to be working in the state of California, so he's not going to be subject to that state taxes. He'll be making $68 million a year and not be subject to those taxes. And if he moves back to Japan, he's not going to be subject to federal taxes either. So, it's kind of a genius investment on the Dodgers' part.
Yeah, and the state of California, I'm sure, is just like, oh, okay, this is not right. Like
they're trying to address that. But you gotta go federal. That you gotta go through all the Congress for that, and like that's gonna be really hard to do.
Yeah, we'll see because when it gets to that type of level, the state wants their money now. You know what I mean? Like they don't want to wait later for it. So we'll see, man. How it's all gonna work out. I don't work at that type of level, nor do I want to. But um, you know, yeah, I that was something I thought about. I was like, can the state of California come up with a rule or a law saying that you still have to pay on whatever money you make, even if it's
Hmm.
deferred. I don't know. I'm just kind of throwing ideas out there.
Yeah. And to JJ, it's not under legal scrutiny. It's been completely approved by the CBA, collective bargaining agreement. And that's completely legal. There are loopholes that allow people like him to take advantage of it that we can't take advantage of. So
Right.
middle class people and poor people don't have lobbyists. We don't have people to go after that shit for us. Those guys do.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is why the CEOs on Wall Street make a low base salary, and what I mean low is like 200,000 to 300,000. It's not a lot, but they make these $100 million bonuses, and that's classified as basically carried interest, and it's
Hmm.
taxed at 0%, and that's a loophole that those people can enjoy. It's legal. It stinks, but it's legal.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. There's economics. There's economics for you right there.
economics 101, dude. It's economics 101, man.
Yeah.
That's
No,
one
and
of
you're
the,
absolutely right. And it doesn't really matter like what side of the fence you're on. It's like all those folks are all taking advantage of it. And guess
Mhm.
what? If we had those same perks, we'd be doing the same freaking thing.
Yeah,
Let's
of
be honest.
course.
So
I mean,
yeah.
yeah. But like, what am I going to stash $12 in the Cayman Islands? Like, you know,
Or at a bank in Switzerland, you
yeah,
know,
exactly.
but anyway, I won't go down that rabbit hole just because.
Yeah. It's like I'm going to fly to Switzerland to go get my Ziploc bag full of bills. So,
Yeah, no joke, man. Yeah. Um, I wanted to ask you this, Jason. Some fans they seem pretty upset about Spencer Jones being sent back to the minors. How do you feel about that?
it was to get him. They saw what they needed to see,
Yeah.
and now they pretty much know he wasn't going to make the team. So this would be the easiest way to get him back in the minors, playing on a regular basis. You know what I mean? So, and it was going to happen inevitably. As much as they want to see him more in spring training, um, the Yankees saw developmentally what they needed to see at a bigger sample size. So, and again, I wouldn't be surprised if he starts the season in AAA.
Yeah, I
So,
wouldn't be surprised either. And there's no room for him on the roster at the moment.
nope.
That's the other thing too. And so, for me, I'm just like, you know what, man, let him go back to the minors, let him continue getting better, let him continue
Hmm.
developing. Why not?
Hmm.
You know?
Hmm.
Um, I kind of used I was talking with Mazo about that in the group chat earlier. But I don't know if you heard it or listened to it, you might have been busy, but I was just like, Jason can relate. I was kind of using the martial arts reference. Like, you don't just go into a pro fight, just out of nowhere. You need to put in the work.
Hmm.
Talent, yeah, you got all sorts of talent, but sometimes you're just not ready for that big stage quite yet. You know what I
No,
mean?
this is why like for runners, the Olympics and Olympic trials have standards.
Yeah.
You have to achieve those standards just to qualify. Even high school, national scholastic, NCAA's, and college, you have to achieve certain standards just to make it those competitions. They're not going to just put anybody in there, any amateur. They'll get their clocks clean. So, and now with people running so fast, it's the same type of thing. Like you're not going
Right.
to put in some rookie boxer against Mike Tyson or
Oh,
some
hell no.
novice against John Jones in UFC. You're going to get murdered. So, like,
Hey, if Dana White wants to give me, a couple of $1 million to step in there with John Jones, I'll do it.
yeah, man.
Just for him to choke me out or whatever. That's cool. I was like, all right, give me my paycheck. I'm good. actually, no, I don't. I don't want to be in the same cage as Jones. But yeah, that guy will murder that. Oh God, no, that guy will murder me.
He's a
But
Hulk, man. He's a Hulk.
yeah, him and his brothers are something else. They're freak athletes. My goodness. But anyway, we won't. We can talk
True.
about.
But to your point here, yeah, Spencer Jones is 22.
Yeah.
Same age as Anthony Volpe. So super young. And he's the number one prospect in the system, right? And again, they've seen what they need to see. He went 80 pitches without a swing and miss. That is crazy. His strikeout percentage last year was he struck out at a 30% rate, a 30% K rate. So they lowered that down to 20%ish. He has all the makings of a superstar.
Oh,
So,
absolutely. He reminds me of a Richie Sexton.
yeah, that's a good analogy. All right, good comparison.
Yeah,
I could see him making the 40-man expansion roster, but it's no longer 40, it's 28 now, I think. They stopped the 40 a couple years ago. It's 28. So they only add 2 guys to the roster now. Which sucks, but it is what it is. Yankees should offer Soto during the season 14 years, 672 opt-outs after 6 and 10, 48 per year. That's a pretty good contract.
That is a pretty good contract. I like that. The question is, would Scott Boras accept a deal like that? Because Soto is pretty much leaving it all in Boris's hands.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
I mean, the opt-outs are favorable for the agents and the players because there's no
Absolutely.
guarantee they're going to opt out. So you're still going to get 14 years no matter what if you don't opt out. So
yeah, because after year 6, that'll put him at about 32, and then year 10 he'll be 36.
yeah,
So,
he doesn't turn 26 until October.
Yeah,
so the whole
true.
season, 25. The
Yeah.
whole season. No, and I would rather give him an opt-out instead of a no trade clause. So
I hate the no trade clause personally. I'm not a fan of the no trade clause.
so do I.
Yeah, it really puts a chokehold on the team.
Yeah, I agree, man.
So
15 for 750. It could be that's 50 million per. 50 million per. So
50 million is thinking. I think he gets 50 million AAV.
I've said it for months now. People think I'm crazy, but I said it's very likely going to get 50 million. It's like, I mean, you got 3 pitchers over 42, Verlander and Scherzer, and now Zach Wheeler. So, the Yankees give opt-outs on occasion, Donnie. CC Sabathia had an opt-out. Garrett Cole had one, but they built in a avoidable piece to Garrett Cole's contract where they can void his opt-out by adding a 10th year. CC Sabathia had an opt-out, so they do it on occasion. They're highly sought after, and I would imagine Juan Soto's probably going to get one, especially as a Scott Boras client. He likes to get his guys opt-out so they can re-enter the market at a prime age. So he does like to get that for his clients. I would imagine that would have to be part of a contract. I'd be shocked if it wasn't. So, yeah, dude. I mean, Spencer Jones definitely has the it factor. He does, Dominic. He's a stud. He's a stud. So
I'm excited to see what Spencer Jones is going to bring in the future. I loved what I saw in spring training.
Me too.
And I was like, wow, this dude is impressive. Like, he is so impressive.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
man.
I can't wait to see what else he does.
No doubt about it, man. But Dominic, I could see. I mean, at 25 years old, he's going to get more than 10 years. He's going to get more than 10 years. Otani got 10 because he's 30, so that makes more sense. So
650 million for Soto for 10, so 65 million.
And that's crazy.
That is insane.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's possible.
Soto to the Dodgers, 1.8 billion paid when he's probably dead. So.
Oh God, yeah, it'll just go to his kids. I mean, if he wants to share some of that money with me, I'll take it.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Well, exactly, Chris. Is more than one of the highest. Yeah, California and New York.
Yeah,
highest tax states. And it's the problem people don't understand is that it's one of that way because so many other states are such low tax rates in California and New York subsidize a lot of states. So, and that's just a fact. That's something you learn too.
Mm-hmm.
Their states are so, and their taxes are so high for that reason. Their real estate taxes are through the roof. They subsidize states that don't have either taxes or they just do. So, and that's not political. That's just a fact.
Oh,
So,
yeah. Yeah, that has nothing to do with it doesn't matter what side you're on that one. That's just fact. Yeah.
That's been that way for a long time. Been that way for a long time. So again, Chris, they're being aggressive at closing certain loopholes, and they'll get scrutiny for it. But this contract is ironclad. There's 0% chance he's going to make a dime less than $700 million. Shohei Otani. It's already set, signed, agreed to. So there's no way it doesn't happen.
Yeah, that's $700 getting paid out one way or another. Whether it's
$700 is before taxes. That's not after taxes. That's before taxes. So that could the net and the gross could change. I mean, was it the gross is before and the net is after, right?
Correct.
Correct. The gross doesn't change. It's going to be $700 million. The net might change, depending on what happens at the state and federal taxation level. So, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Maybe
it's getting paid one way or another. So, will they let Yankees? There is no way they let Soto walk and go with Corbin Burns. No,
I can't see that happening.
Yeah, Yankees did not trade away all that talent or all those players for 1 year of Soto just to let Soto walk. I refuse to believe that. There's no way. There's absolutely no way.
So Soto, what accidentally does something good? What are you talking about, JJ?
Accidentally does something good?
Yeah, is this your way of poking at him?
JJ, I'm gonna say this live, and Jason's gonna hear me. And Jason's heard me say this a million times. I don't always agree with Cashman's moves. I don't always agree with the things he says. There's been times where I'm just like, I don't know why did you do that? But there's been a lot of moves that he's done that has been great. So he didn't accidentally do something good. Like that wasn't an accident. Like, come on, where are you getting this from? I don't get it.
Yep, and that doesn't really make
sense.
None of these moves are accidental. There's two sides. The other team agrees to it too. Signings for there are agents and players that agree to it too. So there's two sides of everything. So that doesn't really, hold much juice to that argument. So Neil thinks that Orioles are going to have a sophomore slump. Well, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they also won the division either. They're good. They added Burns, but I'm not handing them the AL East title just yet or the World Series title. Just like I'm not handing the Dodgers the World Series title either.
Yeah, let's tread slowly on that.
So yeah.
Donnie Clarkson, JJ, another LI. Oh boy. Woo!
Where are your sources?
Yeah. I spoke to Cashman myself, guys, just so you're all aware.
Yeah.
That was sarcasm, by the way. So.
And if he's got him on speed dial, man.
You know what, man? I'm just like all the other content creators. I give my thoughts and my opinions and give my predictions and tell people what I think or could happen or should happen, but I never claim to be right. I'm just giving kind of my 2 cents, really. So
yeah, LA's got burner accounts. That's what Sunil's telling us here.
Oh, he's got burner accounts. Sweet.
Oh man, we need 3 likes to get to 100, gang. If anybody hit those thumbs up, gang, if you don't mind, we need 3 more to get over 100.
Let's get folks. Come on.
Yeah, Soto, Rosen, Stroman, maybe some of the relievers. Yeah, and Brad Ausmus. And it's Marcus Stroman. I think it was a quietly good move too. Yeah, Kimbrel is their closer for the Baltimore Orioles. Yeah, democracy matters in the house. What's good? I'm telling you, man. Yankees are in neither good or bad spot because spring training. Yeah, well, exactly, Mark. I mean, spring training is to get these guys ready for the regular season. So it's that simple. Like, you know, JJ really LA. Yeah, maybe Donnie. Is he LA in disguise? I don't know.
Oh man.
I don't know.
Oh man.
But that's we were talking about that democracy, man. It's like we were talking. I mean, we were across the board talking about Otani's contract. We're talking about Soto. We were talking about Carlos Rodon, and are people worried about him? And we gave a couple other examples of pitchers that are supposed to be. Oh boy, look who's on.
Mm-hmm.
He's having his evening sauce.
Oh man,
Oh.
how you fellas doing?
How you doing, man? You enjoying your Shirley Temple there, bro?
Yeah, it's apple juice. Apple juice.
You gotta
Apple
get your
juice?
Mott's, man. You gotta get your Mott's at night, man. Yeah.
That's right. Gotta have a little a cup of apple juice a day, keep the doctors away. That's what they
right.
always say.
Huh? Yeah, was Hector at the game today with Jigga and the boys?
Yes, I was at the game with Soso, the boys. Shout out to Frank Luna. I was out there with him as well. It was awesome, being by like the practice field also. Booney came by. I had a conversation with Austin Wells. That was dope. Ron Marinaccio. You saw that, right? That was pretty dope. Yeah.
That's dope.
Johnny Lasagna. Oh, just so everybody know, Jonathan Loizaga. I know we nicknamed him Johnny Lasagna. He doesn't like lasagna. I asked him. He doesn't like the dish. Just so everybody know, he does not like lasagna.
Oh man.
But nah, overall, it's just a good time. Even though they lost, it was still just good vibes and just just being out there with the fans.
I'm saying there. For those that don't know, Austin Wells is half Dominican, right?
Yeah, he's part Dominican on his mother's side, I believe. Yeah.
And you asked him what his favorite food was. What did he say? What was
he said I like the mango. You can't go wrong with mango, bro. Come on, today go to bed. You can't go wrong with that. A little bit of mango, salami con huevos. You can't go wrong.
Oh God. So let me ask you this, everybody.
What's up?
People are panicking about Carlos Rodon a little bit and so on and so forth. And I pointed out a couple other people like Yamamoto got lit up today by the White Sox. He got lit up.
Mm-hmm.
Sox. Corbin Burns has a 10.13 ERA.
Yeah.
Zeus Luzardo has an 8 ERA. So all these guys, and people don't seem to be panicking about them because there's a lot of panic. And I understand Rodon's velocity is not there yet. To me, it seems like he's purposely trying to keep the ball in the zone to try to working on a couple new pitches. So I'm not surprised he's getting hit. So, but he's healthy. He's adding his innings, and I think that's the progression point that we need to see from him, man. So what's your take on that, man? Are you worried about Rodon?
When it comes to Rodon, like you said, I think it's magnified and it sticks out a little bit more because of the bad season he had last year.
Yeah.
Right. So, having a rough start to spring training this year doesn't help your case if you're trying to win back the fan base. Right. But if there's a silver lining, at least he's making the starts in spring training, something he didn't do last year. Right. So maybe that's something to lean towards. But yeah, of course, got to be able to have cause for alarms because of what's going on with Carlos Rodon right now. Hopefully in his next start, he just pitches a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And again, he added more pitches. If he recovers tomorrow, I have him on the same kind of plane with Nestor Cortez. I worried about how they feel the day after they pitch. Do they feel good? And then are they recovering well? So it sets them up for the next start. So they take the next step in their development. So like those are the two guys I worry about them feeling good the day after the start.
Yeah.
So I don't feel that way about Marcus Stroman. I think he's all right, man. I think he's in a little bit further along. Garrett Cole, I'm not worried about. Clark Schmidt, I'm liking his progression too. So, but it's just, it does. I mean, I think Rodon's going to be fine at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But everything is amplified because he had a rough season coming off that huge contract. Like, I get it, but I hope that Yamamoto gets the same scrutiny. His contract is twice the size of Rodon's.
Yeah, exactly.
He was, coined as like the second coming of Jesus. So it was like the Yankees don't get him. They failed this offseason, and like he's human too. He's gonna get hit.
Yeah. And when it comes, he just wanted to be with the Dodgers, right? I think it came out. The reports came out that the Phillies are actually the team that offered him the most money out of every other team in Major League Baseball, more than the Yankees, more than the Dodgers, by more than 40 or 50 mil. He just wanted to be with the Dodgers, be on the West Coast with Shohei. That's all it came down to.
Yeah, your Elvis was good. It's true. And that it is what it is.
Yeah.
And but teams are going to adjust to him. He's going to have to make adjustments. He's new to the majors. He's going to have to make adjustments, just like Roki Sasaki. Whenever he comes here, he's going to have to make adjustments too.
One thing I wanted to say, Aaron Boone was walking by early before the game, and fans, we were asking Boone. We was like, Boone, what's your have you heard anything for Blake Snell? You got his locker ready? And he literally just looked over to us and started laughing and just kept walking off.
Well, we're getting this drunk Hispanic right here. Boone and Snell will be on. Cole and Snell will be unstoppable. I mean, look, I don't think any of us are going to be doubting his talent level, right? He threw Cy Young last year, so there's no denying that. Has he put together 2 consecutive good years? No, he has not. So this is a viable worry there. But I don't think he would be more impactful than Jordan Montgomery. I don't think either one of them would be significantly better than the other. So, would I be upset if they picked Montgomery over Snell? No, not at all. No. I mean, I wouldn't be upset if they traded for Shane Bieber. You want to add an arm, let him add an arm. But I'm also fine with letting Will Warren come up at some point, letting Clayton Beeter come up. I'm fine with that too. Getting it out until the deadline. So we just don't know what they're going to do right now. I mean, we never know. They don't leak anything. This is why, people get crazy with it. What the fuck are the Yankees doing? They're not going to tell you.
They ain't going to tell you.
They just do it. So, but heck, are you going to any more games?
Yeah, we actually going to the game tomorrow. We're going to link up with Frank Luna again early. Gonna just get more content with some more Yankee fans. I was in the middle of interviewing some Yankee fans after the game, and it started raining. Right at in the middle, it started drizzling, and I had to end it with, I don't want them to get wet. They gotta go back to their car, so I let them live.
Oh man.
Yeah, but no, it's nice, man. I was able to get myself a Juan Soto jersey. Had to. I was in the team shop, so I had to get me a Juan Soto jersey. So I'm ready for this season, bro.
Dude, I'm gonna get the jersey I'm gonna get this year is gonna be the away jersey, the new away jersey, number 22. So I gotta get the Soto away jersey. I got the Cole home. I gotta get the Soto away.
Hey, I got the jersey with no Star Insurance patch, so I ain't have to worry about having the Star Insurance patch on my jersey. So none of that.
My man. Are you going live tomorrow, Hector?
Yeah, I'm going live in the morning at 11 o'clock. I may actually go on a bit earlier. But yeah, I'm gonna go live early tomorrow at 11 o'clock. I'm gonna do a full open panel, so everybody's more than welcome to. I'll send the invite. I'll send the link to Jason, to NFE. I'll send it to you guys early. That way we can start the show with all of us. And then at the end, we'll bring everybody up to join the convo if you guys are free in the morning.
Yeah. So what I was going to tell you, Hector, was I've been going live Tuesdays and Thursdays, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Okay.
So, I might be a little bit over, but I would love to join you still.
Copy.
So I just wanted to, that's the reason why I was asking, man. And
yeah,
because I try to, I pick those days because it's all right, those are good days because all the other content creators kind of go on their set days, Uncle Tats and those guys. So, I try to fit in a window.
Yeah. No, I get it. That's why I go on. When I go on, because I picked that specifically for that. I didn't want to step on anyone's toes, Tats, and I'm not trying to compete with the other content creators out there because it's enough views and likes for all of us to be able to, build up a nice following or a nice community, like we have.
Yeah, same. And I'm like you guys. I'm just trying to build myself here, and just support everybody else too. So, it's been a lot of fun so far. I will say.
Yeah, you're killing it, bro. Keep doing it, bro. And like always, whenever you want me to pop on, just shoot me a text and I'm there.
Oh, dude, it's already like Jason, like Pats, like everybody else. It's open, baby.
Yeah,
So
I bet. Just send me the link and I'm there. Davey Hammond in the chat says, Hector, that's not a Soto jersey. That's a Jimmy Key jersey. Shout out to Davey. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Appreciate all of y'all.
Yeah, let me ask you a question, Hector.
What's
NFE,
up?
man, doesn't he remind you of Ghost Dog? Forrest Whitaker. He's got his hoodie on in the dark right there. You remember Ghost
Oh,
Dog?
NFV? Yeah. It's giving very much Space Ghost, Coast to Coast vibes late at night. That's what NFV is giving me right now.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you.
yeah, Hector's on my list of people too, where it's like you put your hands on Hector, I'm coming after you.
Oh,
gotta do
same. It's likewise for everybody, bro. You know.
That's his back, man. We gotta send it back.
Yeah.
By the way, NFE, that most of the soundtrack for Ghost Dog is Wu-Tang.
Woo. Okay.
And the Riz is in that movie. A lot of them dudes are in that movie. Yeah. So go see it. It's a fun movie. It's a fun movie. It's like basically the modern version of the Professional with Leon, the Professional.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. They got Luke Weaver's going to be on the mound tomorrow for the Yankees against the Tigers.
Okay.
Cool.
Luke Weaver, he's going up against who the hell is this guy? Jack Flaherty. Didn't he used to play for the Cardinals, right? Jack Flaherty.
Yeah, he was with the Cardinals.
Yeah, so it's going to be Luke Weaver. He's 0-0 with a 2.25 ERA, and Jack Flaherty's 0-0 with a 3 ERA. So that's
highlight Donnie's comment over here.
What's that?
Highlight Donnie's comment. He says NFE's finding his rocks to pick for tomorrow.
Johnny TD, man, I'm telling you, I think we get an improved Schmidt. That's a good thing for the Yankees rotation. You know,
I think good about Schmidt. I honestly do.
Yeah, man. I mean,
I feel great, Schmidt.
Yeah, and I like that they brought in Weaver. Weaver could be a good swing man, like I said too. I don't know if you guys agree, but like he makes it easier for them to ease in guys like Will Warren and Clayton Beater. Makes it easier. He gives him more protection for Rodon, more protection for Nestor Cortez. Even if he throws 120, 130 innings, I'll take that. I'll take that, man. So
yeah, absolutely.
Hector dipped on us. But it's just Donnie.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I don't know if the Cardinals are going to sign anybody else.
I don't think so. I think Cardinals and the Rangers, I think they're done signing players, man.
Yeah, and I know that Sonny Gray just got hurt, but that's a hamstring problem. It's not a shoulder or an elbow problem.
Yeah.
It's a hamstring issue. So
now I could see the Giants changing their tune and being like, you know what? We're gonna go after Snell.
Well, yeah, their number 4 is having Tommy John, right? So and they need an arm now. So
yeah, these pitchers are getting hurt, man.
I'm telling you, man. This is what Boris has been waiting for, these injuries, so he can go and capitalize on the team that could potentially make a desperate move. He's going to capitalize on it. Going to try. So, but a lot of these guys are onto him. They're like, nah.
Yeah, I still don't think
I'll pay for him, but I'm not going to overpay for him.
Yeah, exactly. And I think right now I don't think these owners and general managers are going to give into they're not going to give into these demands.
No,
they're just not. I think they're sick of Boris's crap. You know.
My man Dane is in his house. What's good, Dane?
What's up, Dane?
What is good,
What's going
brother?
on, Dane? How you feeling?
How you doing, man? If you want, I will be happy to send you the link if you want to hop on. I'll probably be on for another little bit, but
I'm gonna hop off here pretty soon, Jason.
Let me put where's Dane at? Here we go. Put this up on here. This is Dane Huber from NYYU. I mean, if you want to learn about, you want to get extensive knowledge on prospects and how the Yankees build themselves up, Dane's the guy you want to listen to. He's the guy you want to hear. So
yeah,
they're on it, man.
Yeah, I had Dane on with me on Sunday morning, and yeah, dude, you want to talk about a wealth of information on prospects? He's the guy to talk to. Like, he really is.
He elevates the knowledge profile, man. He elevates the knowledge, and this is what like we talked about. We want people to know as much as possible, right? So we're, you know, you have all the story, and the more information you get, the better prepared you're going to be. The more knowledge you're going to have. That's exactly what we want. Joseph, what is good? What is good? Another LA
What's
in the
up,
chat.
Joseph?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, boy.
I got you, Dane. Yeah, Dane's Li himself is blocked on this channel, unfortunately. So we had to do that. You know, we had to do that. So for being disrespectful to the people in the chats, it happened a couple years ago. We had to do it. You know, I got to be protecting you people on the channel. It's the people here that make this place great. So, and we want to protect that family. We want to protect that environment. So, you damn right. It's like good hunting, Donnie. Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Dane and Lewis have a great farm report. Fantastic farm report. So, he can he can mop a floor and still answer questions. That's like the best scene ever from Good Will Hunting. You know, that's like the best scene ever. That's one of my favorite movies of all time too. Do you like apples? Well, I got a number. How do you like them apples? It's like the best scene ever. The best freaking scene. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trent Grisham. Yeah. Well. Oh yeah. Trent Grisham will make this roster, Johnny. Yeah, I mean, he's a guaranteed contract. He's an elite defender too. Like he's going to be the Yankees' fourth outfield. He's got another year. He's got 2025 as well, and then he's a free agent 2026. So, but I mean, Trent Grisham, I think will be one of the bench pieces. Right now, I think it's probably going to be Grisham and one of the catchers, and probably Oswaldo Cabrera, but I'm not sure. Like, it sounds like they're still looking for a veteran bat for the bench.
You talk about Oswaldo Cabrera, man. I mean, his bat is not.
It's not there.
No, it's not there, man.
You know,
Really not there. It's unfortunate, and it's just like this is where I'm saying. This is where I'll say like this is where Peraza should be getting. He should be getting opportunities here.
Yeah, and Grisham does look good.
Yeah,
and he does look good. You know, I'm not surprised. You know, he's one of these guys, and again, he doesn't have to play every single day to still produce. But I think he's going to get a pretty good amount of playing time. I really do. So,
no doubt.
Oh yeah, best line from Dave. Son of a bitch, he stole my line. Got to go see about it, girl. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Do I see Jones coming up here to serve on Isleston? One of our big outfields go down. Probably not immediately, Sunil. I would say later on in the offseason. I think he's going to have to play in AAA a little bit to show he can handle that level before. I mean, he's clearly shown that he can do well in spring training, but spring training, you're also not facing everybody's ace every game either. So it's something to keep in mind too. And just like the pitchers not facing everybody else's top dogs in the lineup either early on too. There are still guys, there's still teams that are trying to fill up their roster with people. And a lot of them don't know, like, you know, what they're going to do. You know, what I got here. I got a notification from Dane. Oh, send it to you. Yeah, I got you, Dane. Here we go. Let me copy this. Dane needs me to send a link to his Twitter.
Oh, yeah. And Jason, I'm probably gonna hop off here in the next couple of minutes. So, yeah, you do your thing. But yeah, no, you know, I was gonna say as far as the Yankees spring training goes, I mean, they have bright spots, right? I do.
Yes,
they do have bright spots. I mean, there's things that they could be working on, that they need to get better at. But you know, we'll see what happens. And let's see. Oh, Hector's back.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Dane's gonna hop on in a minute too. Dane Huber.
Copy.
Yeah, and I'll be logging off here in just a moment. So
if Peraza gets regular playing time, look, I think the Peraza's got to get regular playing time, whether it's up here, whether it's in. I just don't see a path for him to get regular playing time right now. I think it has to be in AAA because they're going to need to keep him sharp because he's going to be probably the first injury replacement call for the infield.
Yeah.
Right. And they need to keep him sharp no matter what. Just like Yorbit Vivas, they need to keep him playing every day as well at some point because he's very likely going to be the guy that replaces Torres second base if he doesn't come back. So I'm not really buying into the Alex Bregman thing right now.
Yeah. Please don't bring the name up.
I know some people are talking about it, but Hector, what do you think about Alex Bregman?
No, did you not see my face right now? Wasn't because Celso just used my bathroom in my bedroom. Not at all. Over here in the Airbnb. My face is because you brought up the name Alex Bregman. I'm good. I'm passing on Alex Bregman. It's one thing when the Yankees brought Johnny Damon over, right? Because like we needed that prototypical leadoff hitter. Johnny Damon was a guy that he was able to win over the fan base, no matter if he was a Red Sox, no matter if he was a Yankee, he was able to win the fan base over. I'm not sure Alex Bregman is the same type of player that's on a rival team that is able to win the fan base over. I'm good on Bregman.
Well, especially since he was when they confronted him in Altuve on the cheating scandal, like they were so evasive and defensive and like completely they basically dismissed everything on the cheating stuff. So they carried him. So like if you needed to make a bad first impression, they did that.
Yeah.
Altuve. So like you guys were red-handed. We knew you weren't going to be held accountable because you're union protected. At least you could have done is owned it, but they didn't do that either. So, and that's the thing. And I would agree, Johnny. I think Vivas is better than Cabrera. This is a shame. Hector, what do you think? I mean, Oswaldo Cabrera, it's kind of a shame to see him a shell of what he was. Like,
I think when it comes to Oswaldo Cabrera, the one thing that hasn't fallen off of the cliff is his defense.
Yep.
He's a solid defender. And I think when you're looking for that last guy on the bench, let me put it like this. If it's the postseason, or if it's the month of September and Yankee fans are frustrated because Oswald Cabrera is our cleanup hitter and he can't produce, this has been a bad season for the New York Yankees. Oswald Cabrera is not going to make or break our season when it comes to 2024. He's just a guy that's going to be a bench piece, a glue guy to play multiple infield position and outfield positions, and a guy to occasionally get on base to steal you a bag or lay down the bunt if you have to lay down a bunt. If he has to come through in a clutch situation, you take that lightning in a bottle. But we're not banking our season on Oswald Cabrera. It sucks because he's a great guy. He's great when it comes to the fans. He's great when it comes to being with his teammates. But if you're not producing on the field, you're not producing on the field. I've had the pleasure of meeting Cabrera. I think he's an amazing human being. I've had a great interview with him. I'm actually going to probably most likely link with him tomorrow in Frank Luna. But I just hope he's going to be good. That's all. When it comes to the defense, that's the one thing we know Cabrera's not going to miss up. It's his defense.
Yep. And Lou, it wasn't Damon that was accused of cheating with it, but that was
no. I was just saying from a rivalry team coming over to the Yankees. That's why I brought up Damon. No, Damon was never accused of cheating.
No. Yeah, Damon's that was a different story. And again, and he played well for the Yankees. He contributed. He was on the Yankees 2009 championship team. So he did what they needed him to do.
Yeah. And he was a guy that was able to win over both the Yankees fan base and the Red Sox fan base. I'm not sure if Alex Bregman comes over here to the Yankees, he's going to be able to win over the fan base. I think Josh Donaldson has a better chance of winning over the fan base than Alex Bregman does when it comes to Yankee fans.
And that's saying something, man.
Yeah.
That's saying something.
Yo, and if he is frozen, he is scaring the living hell out of me right now. He's frozen?
Right? I'm telling you, man, that's Ghost Dog right there. I swear to God, it's Ghost
Dog. God, bro, you look like Slender Man for a second, and when you was frozen.
Hulkamaniac, that's good. Now the Padres are not
I heard that one.
I mean, Donnie, I can't see the Padres re-signing Snell. I mean, I'm impressed with the moves that they've made, the incremental moves, but I can't see them signing Snell. And at this point, I don't know where the hell he's gonna go.
All right.
I don't know.
Give me a second. I'm trying to get this link to Dane. Your
I sent it to his Twitter too.
Oh, you did? Let me know. Hold on.
What did
I
you
just texted to him also. I just texted the link also.
Okay. Yeah,
Five G.
you're saying to send it to his Twitter, so
I did.
Okay.
No, Verdugo's not hurt. He was in the lineup today, Johnny.
Yeah, he was out there. He was out there in the outfield. Giancarlo Stanton, we saw him in the backfield in the practice field, also running around and getting some sprinting done. And Giancarlo Stanton, he looks solid, man. He looks like I know, like people talking about how he slimmed down weight. Even him losing weight, he still looks jacked and chiseled in person.
Yep. He's still a Hulk, man. He's like 6'7". What, he's only 240 now instead of being 260, like, or whatever. He's a fucking giant.
Yeah.
So, he's gigantic. He's one of the strongest hitters in all of baseball. So, and he looks like he's made adjustments to his swing too, like Volpe.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're seeing more level swings. I think he's going to put the ball in play more. I think he'll run out shit more. So we're going to see some different things this year.
They definitely are.
That we would not. And yeah, Johnny T. The Giants have been sneaky good. I mean, they got Jorge Soler, they got Jung-Hoo Lee, Matt Chapman, 3 bats. They traded for Robbie Ray. They brought in Jordan Hicks.
Robbie Ray.
A quietly effective offseason for the Giants.
Yeah, one thing the fan base in San Francisco can't complain is that the owner's not scared of spending money because he's trying to spend money. It's just nobody's trying to take their money in San Francisco. It's a stark difference when you look at San Francisco willing to spend money. Nobody wanted to go over there. And then you have a team like the Boston Red Sox, which the owner is not willing to spend money and bring some big time talent over there to Boston. I know Yankees, Boston, but it kind of sucks. The Boston Red Sox and the Yankee rivalry, it doesn't have that same flair to it like it once had, like, back 10, 15, or even 5 years ago. It's totally different. Yes, the Yankees, I always want to see them dominate the Red Sox, but I kind of want the Red Sox to be good so we can have that rivalry back, Jake. You understand what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. God, yeah. There he is.
Going on, fellas?
Good, Dane. What's going on, man?
Nothing. How are you guys doing
Dano.
this evening?
Doing pretty well. Hector's out there in Tampa enjoying the heat and enjoying some Yankee games. He's over there with the boys.
Yes, sipping
Yeah,
on
I
apple
saw him
juice,
this morning
Dane.
talking to Austin Wells. God, my light's horrible. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
that's good, man.
But,
talking to Wells.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to ask you, Dane.
There you go.
We were just talking about Alex Bregman.
Yes,
because there's been some chatter about him being a fit for the Yankees. What's your take on it?
No, I don't see it. The number one priority for me is signing Soto this offseason, and I don't think that Bregman helps get that done. I really like George Lombard in the next 2 years to be our third baseman. I really think that that's going to be his long-term position. The more I hear from people I know inside the Yankees system, they really are high on the kid. They are really a big fan of him. So I just don't see Bregman being here as a long-term fit as being a great idea.
Same thing.
And I'm not exactly sure he carried himself the way the Yankee community would like him to carry himself after that whole cheating situation happened. I mean, he was completely dismissive of the whole thing. Like, we knew you weren't going to be held accountable, but you didn't own any of it, dude. So, like,
right.
If you want to get off on a bad start, like Hector just made a great point, Josh Donaldson would win the Yankees fan base more than freaking Alex Bregman would. So, like,
it is. How is he a good fit coming from the team that Aaron Judge blames for losing his MVP to Altuve? Just that whole cheating scandal. I don't think it's a fit, but I've been very wrong many times before.
Especially when you throw in the point when you throw in the fact that Alex Bregman was one of the guilty parties when you look at the Astros, and it's one of the players that benefited the most when you look at his production because of the trash can and the bang bangs that was going on. So I'm right there with you, Dane. I don't think Aaron Judge would approve of a trade of Alex Bregman over to the New York Yankees. I just think it's just clickbait.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, and Lombard's coming. I mean, some folks are saying Arias is coming too. Like, how would you make that work if Arias was coming too? Like, because I don't think they're going to move Volpe. So
see, I disagree with that. I think that they would move Volpe because Arias is such a star. As much as I love George Lombard, I'm even higher on Roderick Arias.
where do you think they move Volpe?
Second base. That's where his arm profile the best coming up through the system. He ranges better to his left than he does to his right.
You know, it's crazy you point that out because we talked about this. Like, the better fit would have been Oswald Peraza at short and Volpe at second. That would have been a better defensive outlay in the infield. So
Hector has heard me talk about that a great deal about Peraza should have been the shortstop and Volpe should have been the second baseman.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way. I mean, like Peraza would have made the infielders around him better. So
yes,
with his defensive profile, his arm strength is a heck of a lot more robust than Volpe's. And it's not taking anything away from Volpe, but I do think profile better at second base.
I think Volpe would be.
I just wanted to point this out real quick, right? NFE looks like he's about to star in a music video for Creed right now. Just the drums are about to start playing. The guitars are going to come in, and the music video is about to start. Sorry, Dane. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No. But the thing about Arias that I like the most is he's got an arm that makes Peraza's look like he's still in high school.
Wow.
It's really that strong. He's I think he's a better defensive shortstop now than Oswald Peraza is.
Wow.
Yeah, I think Yankee Muse on Twitter or an account that's very similar to that a few weeks ago. They had a comparison for his arm strength, like what Dane was talking about, like Jose Reyes when he first came up with the Mets, like those first few years when he had that cannon of an arm of like close to 100 miles per hour.
Yes, he's got up to 98 from across the diamond a few times already. So
that would be crazy. I mean, Arias. Let's see. Lombard at third, Arias at short, Volpe at second.
Later, NFE, you dipping?
Yeah, I am gonna dip, guys. I'm gonna get out of here.
See you later, bud.
Appreciate you, my guy. NFE, I'll send you the link, and whenever you're free, just join with us. All right, brother?
Say what?
I said I'll send you the link, and whenever you're free in the morning, just join us, bro.
You know I will, bro. I'll be on there, man. You know it.
Copy.
All right, brother.
All right. See you later.
Later, homie.
Yeah.
Late.
It's what I was pointing some stuff out today, Dana, and I was talking to Hector and NFE about this, but like a lot of folks are incredibly worrying to a degree about Carlos Rodon, right? I still think it's early in the off season and in the spring. And for perspective, I brought up other folks like Corbin Burns. He has a 10.13 ERA. Yamamoto has a 9 ERA. Luzardo, Jesus, 8 ERA. Way higher than Rodon. So and again, it's not this, and I'm not saying, if you're gonna panic for these other guys, but if we're gonna give these other guys a little slack, it's okay to give Rodon a little slack. These guys are still building up their arm strength. They're not going to be better the second time around the lineup than they will be the first right now. It's not like the hitters where they have to get their timing. These guys have to build up their endurance and their strength in order to be sharper the second time around. So I'm not really as worried. I think his velocity will come around. He's working on a couple of new secondary pitches, and I think he needs time to get used to that. But the fact that he's coming out of these things healthy, with him and Cortez, I worry about the day after. Are they going to feel good the day after? And then, that's what I worry about these two guys. So, I mean, what's your take on that, on Rodon? Where do you think he's at right now?
Our guy Johnny Lasagna did a heck of a breakdown. He's a former pitcher. He compared Rodon's 2022 to what he did last year and what he looks like this spring. And you can see that Rodon is not getting the same torque on the back and that kind of thing. That said, he's been up to 97 this winter or this spring already. He's throwing 5 pitches, which is something we did not see last year. He's added the cutter to go along with the refined changeup and a curveball. I have concerns about Rodon, but am I freaking out? No. If he's sitting 91 to 93 in his last spring training start, then I'll be concerned. But until then, I'm not.
Agree.
You say you feel the same way, Hector?
Yeah, no, I definitely feel the same way, just like Dane. If we're at the last week of spring training and if he's clocking 90 or 91 on the radar gun when it comes to his fastball, then we got a cause for concern when it comes to Carlos Rodon. It's still spring training. You brought it up, the fact that he's trying to mix in a new repertoire of pitches, because when you look at his pitch selection, it's fastball, it's slider, and it's cutter. It's basically the pitch that, like, all three of them, it's on the same plane and it's on the same path.
Right.
And it's just a few miles that separate him when it comes to like miles per hour. I think Carlos Rodon, he has to utilize that slow curveball or a changeup more just to keep the hitters off balance. Even if he was to throw it 5 to 10%, it's better than not throwing it at all right now. So he needs to have that extra pitch to keep guys off balance and not have a pitch that is so similar, just like his fastball, cutter, and slider.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree with you completely. He was throwing the curveball a little bit more today from what I saw.
Yeah.
And I think that that's probably the pitch he's most comfortable going to in that situation.
But for me, it felt like when we saw him, and then like I rewatched the game, like when I got back from the from Georgia and Steinbrenner Field, it felt like his curveball, he threw it when he needed to get a strike, like a get me over breaking ball, right? Instead of using it as an out pitch or using it as a pitch to set up that out pitch, right? He just needs to mix it in more.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
Jonathan had a question here. Who can make the team? In all honesty, Jonathan, I don't see Will Warren making it out of spring. I think they're going to wait until May or June because they have an extra year of control there.
May 15th is the date that they get the extra year of control.
So if anybody makes it out of spring training, I could see Clayton Beeter making it before Will Warren. So for that reason alone, and I think it also allows the Yankees the flexibility. This is the benefit of having Luke Weaver. You don't have to throw Will Warren to the Wolves. You don't have to throw Nestor Cortes to the Wolves or Rodon. Weaver can eat some of these innings for these guys. And
he can.
Yeah,
he's kind of a security blanket for them. So I think it's a net benefit. And I think they're going to take advantage of that extra year of Will Warren, such a highly touted prospect. So I can't see him breaking with the team in all honesty. As much as I'd like him to, I see why they wouldn't have him break with the team.
Yeah.
So.
And we really don't know what his role would be because they have 5 starters right now.
Yeah.
Are you going to put Warren in the bullpen or get the extra year of control?
Yeah, it's true. I could see Beeter in the bullpen more before Warren in the bullpen.
Yeah, same.
Beeter will actually have a fit. Beeter or Bird.
Beeter.
They would find roles for him.
I'm very high on Beeter as a reliever. The usage, he's 70% on the fastball, and the slider is great, but the changeup isn't real good. And he has a 65 grade curveball, but the Yankees have taken that away from him for some reason. I have no idea why.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you the same thing because that's a conversation that I was having with someone over there at the stadium. Shout out to Abby on Twitter. They brought up that point with Clayton Beeter. When we got him from the Dodgers and all those highlights we saw Clayton Beeter, he had that wipeout breaking pitch, that curveball, and it was very reminiscent of like AJ Burnett. Right, when you saw it, right, it was very reminiscent of not just his mechanics, but the break of it as well. And seeing the Yankees taking that away from him, I'm not sure if that's them setting him up for that reliever role, because if you're going to be a starter, you need that extra curveball, that extra breaking pitch. So if the Yankees are gearing him up for more of a reliever role, just utilize your fastball and your slider, those two of your best pitches, so you could just come in for just 1, maybe 2 innings.
I think he's got the demeanor of a reliever. You don't see him get high or low. I really like Clayton Beeter in the back of a bullpen role eventually.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, to the point where I could see them moving a guy like Ron Marinaccio or something like that to make room for a Beeter. I could just see that.
Yeah. Do you think Marinaccio even sniffs this opening day roster?
I'm not confident. He's coming off a year he couldn't stay healthy, and he still hasn't found his groove yet this spring. So I think he could miss the opportunity, and a guy like Beater can take it from him.
I think that they'll start the season with Ron Marinaccio, right? Just until May 15th, that day you bring up, just because Marinaccio, he's already has service time. Like he's already been in the big leagues. So if they could use him to have an extra year of control, I know Clayton Beater, his service time is more close to major league level than Will Warren, but it would still be able to have more control of Clayton Beater just by holding him back just for a couple of weeks.
Beater's already on the 40-man.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, all right.
Yeah.
So
What about Nick Birdie?
But hold on, wait. Even though he's on the 40-man, even though he hasn't made it his major league debut yet, I thought it's when you make your major
you are
league
right.
debut.
I apologize.
Yeah,
you are right.
You have to make
I
your major league
apologize.
debut. Yeah.
My bad.
The six-year service clock starts when you get up to the majors.
When you get up to the major leagues, yeah. You can be on the 40-man roster, but the clock starts when you hit. So and this is the one thing, if you're a GM, this is the one thing in your bag that you're supposed to use, right? If you can have an extra year of control for a player because you can keep him down for 2 weeks, you're not going to lose the season in May when the season starts, right? So you're not that doesn't make or break your season. So yeah, if you're a GM like Cashman, you definitely are going to try to use that to your advantage.
Yeah, true. But to your point too, to your question too, Dane, like Nick Birdie, I could see he's if anybody's impressing out of the bullpen right now, it's Nick Birdie.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
That's this spring training's version of Ian Hamilton.
Yeah. He looks
What about Dennis Santana?
He looks pretty good too. Actually. But I think Birdie probably has the leg up on him.
I would think so as well.
Guys, I gotta dip out just because I gotta get ready for the show in the morning. I gotta go some running around. Dane, always love chatting with you, my guy. Jason, always
say hi to everybody down there for me.
I definitely will, Dane. Dane, next year we getting you out here, baby.
All right.
Later, brother. Appreciate you guys. Have a good night.
You too, man. And again, I think Birdie he's got a good shot at making the team out of the spring. But I wanted to ask you too, to me, it seems like the Yankees are still looking for a veteran bat to fill out that bench. Somebody who can produce whether he plays part-time or full-time. There's been a couple guys, like people have mentioned Donovan Solano. I mentioned somebody like Will Myers. Who do you think can you think of anybody that they might?
I don't have a name off the top of my head. I really think that they're going to use one of the 5 catchers, either Rortvedt or Narvaez, and maybe a relief pitcher to go get that utility player. But I think it may be somebody who we could see who's out of options at the end of spring training, and somebody would have to cut or something like that.
Because as we stand right now, to me, the bench is going to be Grisham, one of the catchers, either Wells or Trevino. And then after that, it's still open. I think Oswaldo Cabrera, just because he can play the infield and the outfield. But I don't know.
I really don't know either. He has hit so poorly this spring that it's hard to see taking him. But he's also out of options. So,
and who else do we know that plays infield and outfield that the Yankees have right now that could be on the bench? I can't think of anybody.
One.
Yeah.
So the closest guy would be Jared Serna, and he's nowhere near major league ready.
Yeah. That's why I think he might be on the bench for that reason, because of his versatility and the other veteran. Go ahead.
Aaron Polinsky plays both, and he was in AAA last year. But I don't think that he's even in big league camp.
Is he solid? Is he any good?
He was a kid that hit 300 in low A and just tore through high A. But once he got to double A, everybody figured him out, and kind of his numbers came back to earth. I mean, he's got power. He's got some speed. But is he a great prospect? No.
Tyler Talbot's saying he likes Sosa from the Phillies. Is there a way for us to trade for him? I don't know.
Could be.
It's a good question. Whit Merrifield would have been a good fit, but he's going to have a bigger role with the Phillies. So
Yeah, he is.
and he'll play. He'll get a good amount of playing time. But again,
Sosa was
go ahead.
that third baseman that was really good a couple years ago and then had a domestic problem or something.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think that's him.
Yeah, I'm asking. I don't know.
I can't remember his first name, but I think you're right. It'll come to me. But like this is the thing. Like they're pretty much have two bench spots up for grabs. One of
Yeah.
them should be Oswaldo, but he's not really doing anything to justify it. And there's an outfielder already, Trent Grisham, so which is why I think the veteran player that they would bring would probably be an infielder.
Right. The one thing that plays in Cabrera's benefit is he does play shortstop, where
Yep.
Vivas does not. So that might give him a leg up where they can send Peraza down. They can't send Cabrera down.
Yeah. And again, like Peraza needs to play every day in order for him to continue to either progress or to increase his trade value. He's got to play every day, right?
He's got to play every day, but sending him down to AAA for his fourth season in a row is basically going to kill all his trade value anyway. It's mostly gone now.
Yep. I'm telling you, it's like I wish they had moved him. I mean, I honestly wish he would have been the third baseman over Josh Donaldson, but that didn't happen. So, and it's just unfortunate I think they missed their window with him.
Right. I do. They missed it. If they thought Volpe was going to be the shortstop, they should have traded Peraza after he played in the playoffs and hit 306 in that sample size.
Yep.
That's when they would have got the haul for him. And his value's just done nothing but go down since.
Yeah. And in all honesty, like, yeah, Dominic, I mean, if I had to choose between Will Myers and Oswaldo Cabrera, I'd probably go Will Myers. He's just a better hitter than Oswaldo Cabrera. He plays infield and out. So, and he also can play first base too. So
yes, he can.
And he was a Yankee killer. So,
yeah, he was.
Like he used to hit the crap out of us. So
when he was in Tampa,
oh my God, he used to murder us.
Yeah.
So, and he's only 31. I think he's 31. So
is that all he is?
Maybe he's 32. I don't think he's not that old, but he's been in the majors for like 10 years. So
yeah, he came up early. He was a good player, young.
He was a stud as young. And again, what did he get? He went to the Padres. He was with Tampa. I don't know what else.
Tampa, and then the Padres, and then the Royals, wasn't it?
Royals, right? Yeah, the Royals. Now, he's a guy I would actually consider, and I think they can get him on a pretty decent deal. And I would pick him over Oswaldo Cabrera at this point.
So I. And I was a big fan of Cabrera when he was in AA. He hit 28 home runs, was the league MVP. He was a good player, but boy, he hasn't been the same guy for the last year and a half.
Yeah, he came up. He was exciting when he first came up too, making some great defensive plays. He had a great arm in the outfield too, and he made some clutch throws. He was accurate with his throwing on from the corners, and he was getting some clutch hits. But he just completely fell off the map. Completely.
Yeah, he completely did.
And he's only 25, which is a shame. It
is.
Maybe a change of scenery might be good for him, unfortunately.
Yeah, I could see that being a benefit to him.
Yeah. Someone who can unlock hitters a little bit differently. Some, change of scenery guys. Like he probably would be decent at Tampa.
Yeah, he would.
Since since I don't think Juan DeFranco's coming back.
No. No, I don't think Franco's coming back ever. Hopefully.
Nope. Yeah. And then if you look at their top 5 prospects, 4 of them are infield prospects.
They are.
So they have enough, but the most major league ready right now would probably be Oswaldo Cabrera. But,
yeah.
And at this point, you can't get anything from him anyway. For him, so I don't know. I mean, they could be going for 2 bench spots here.
They very well could.
And I think that's probably one of the pieces of the puzzle these guys are still putting together, like trying to figure out the last 1 or 2 spots in the bullpen and the last 1 or 2 spots on the bench.
Yeah.
You know, can you see anywhere else they're trying to figure out the calculus on? I think they're setting the rotation unless they surprise us with a move.
Yeah, I'm pretty solid on the rotation. I think the lineup's pretty much set. As much as I don't like DJ leading off, I think I think the biggest question is going to be: is Torres going to hit 5th and Verdugo 6th, or is Stanton going to hit 5th?
Yeah, I mean, I think Stanton's got to earn 5th. I mean, I personally, for me, I would bat Torres 4th and Rizzo 5th, and Stanton 6th or 7th, and then Verdugo the other way around. I think if anybody has the opportunity to have a career year and back up Judge and Soto, it's Gleyber Torres more than all these other guys, which is why I would probably have him 4th.
I could see that. I'm very encouraged by what I've seen from Rizzo, though. He has looked good. He's not just with the 2 home runs. He's looked good in the field, and the at bats seem like the old Anthony Rizzo. He doesn't seem lost up there.
Oh, he seems locked in. He does seem locked in. So, and would I be upset if he batted 4th? Not at all. Or 5th? Not at all. I mean, I think, that 4-5 combo with him and Torres would be just as important as the Soto and Judge 2 and 3. So,
yes.
And then whoever leads off. So,
yeah.
I mean, Verdugo, I think he'll be a better runner, obviously, than DJ. And I have a feeling if the Verdugo leads off, then DJ probably bats 6th or 7th, and vice versa. So, it's probably the way to get a non-base percentage guy at the top and a non-base percentage guy at the bottom of the lineup, or in the bottom third.
What would you think about Verdugo batting leadoff against right-hand hitter or pitchers, and Torres batting leadoff against left-hand pitchers?
Torres leadoff against lefties. Ooh, that's an interesting one. I never thought about that.
He hit leadoff a couple times last year.
He did. I mean, I would be curious in terms of who bats 7th, 8th, and 9th because of Torres' ability to drive in runs. I want him to have runs. Point. I want him to have RBI opportunities, and I think he would have more opportunities batting 4th than he would lead off.
Yeah, you are 100% right about that.
But I mean, which is probably why I would go DJ lead off instead of Torres against lefties.
Yeah,
because of the on-base percentage opportunities there, and because he does tend to have a higher on-base percentage. So, but I mean, the good thing, this is a good problem to have. The Yankees have options now, and they can mix guys around where they didn't have that last year. It was like Judge, and they could just walk Judge, and nobody was going to drive him in.
Yeah, there was nothing else to that lineup other than Torres and Judge last year, and after those two, there was nothing there.
Nothing at all. So, and now we have pitchers have to be worried no matter who they're pitching to on the lineup. So, and to me, it's a heck of a lot more balanced. It's a heck of a lot more versatile. Heck of a lot more skilled, which I think is good. And it's a particular skill in certain areas. I think they were very particular about and strategic about who they brought in this offseason.
I really think this is one of Cashman's better winners in a long time. I think they targeted the right kind of players to bring in a better clubhouse culture. I think that they didn't just go after stars. They went after people who fit what they needed so badly.
True. And again, they addressed their needs. And this is the first time in a while that they've actually addressed or even acknowledged that they had specific needs. And they were actually open about the specific needs. We need lefty contact bats. They actually said that. And they actually went out and got contact bats.
Cashman said that and went and got Benintendi and then didn't sign one last year.
Yeah.
At least he went and got actually 2 contact bats. Soto is a power hitter, but he makes tons of contact as well.
Yep.
But I just like the balance and the depth in the lineup.
Yeah, and I think Grisham was an underrated add to the Soto trade too. Not only his,
I think Trent Grisham can be a big piece. He's a Gold Glove outfielder.
I think he's going to get a pretty good amount of playing time.
I do too.
Probably, I wouldn't be surprised if he plays 100 games, 100 plus games. So not at all.
It just depends on when Jason Dominguez is going to be back.
Yeah, and would you play him in the field when he comes back? Or would you ease him in kind of the way the Phillies did with Bryce Harper?
I would wait until he was 100% healthy on both sides of the ball before I brought him back.
Me too. And I think it'd be smart to be very careful with him. I don't want to rush him.
Unless there's an injury or something like that, there's absolutely no reason to rush him back. Even if there is an injury, there's still Everson Pereira, who's still a top 100 prospect according to ESPN. He could fill in if need be. And then you have Spencer Jones, who's probably a September call-up, but he could factor in early if he continues to swing and not miss. I mean,
yeah, impressive.
Yeah.
And they have Grisham too. Like, this is different than, relying on Billy McKinney and Jake Bowers and like Franchi Cordero and Willie Calhoun. I like those guys, but like, it's a completely different
feel.
Yeah, and the personnel is such a higher level now. That and it's so obvious and it's evident. So, and it makes me happy to say that, man. It really does.
Me too.
I was really, really, really hoping that he was going to do the right things this offseason, and he did. He did.
The thing that's funny about it is they have made so many improvements in their minor league system, the coaches, the players, the kind of people they are bringing in. And usually you change at the major league level first. They changed at the bottom, and now the major league roster and coaches are starting to more reflect what's going on in the system.
Which is a good thing too.
Yes.
I mean, they're building their infrastructure the right way on the bottom, from the bottom up. And which is why I was really happy that they brought in Aaron Leinart, that MIT professor who was already assistant Yankees hitting coordinator, for those that don't know. So, he's one of these Goodwill Huntings. He's one of these nerds, but he actually had the ability to communicate the analytics information to the players at the major league level, to the dugout, this is why he's going to be on the bench with Aaron Boone and Brad Ausmus.
Yeah.
No one else could have done it. He can do it.
Yeah, he can. And the other important part about him is he's the guy that both Aaron Judge and Cole wanted in that position.
Yep.
And when you have the leaders backing him, that means the other players are going to be more accepting, you would think, and they'll buy in.
Yep. And when you listen to Garrett Cole speak, he's very thoughtful and in his responses that he gives you very well thought out responses. So, to me, having Garrett Cole's buy-in was important because he reminds me of Greg Maddux, who's kind of a thinking man's pitcher, right? He would outthink everybody. So
he would.
He just happens to be a power version of Greg Maddux, a power pitching version of Greg Maddux. So, but having the buy-in from Cole and Judge, I think, was really important. And
I agree.
Finding the right fit. And
where
did he come from? He came from the farm. He came from bottom up. So he's one of these hidden values. It's not like Mike Fishman.
Gosh, don't get me started about Fishman.
Yeah, I just just go walk. I just want to tell him, just go. Just go, please, Mike.
I want him to go just predict an analytics model off the coast of Cape Cod and see if we can't recreate Jaws.
Yeah. Go. Become an analytics for Wicked Tuna or something like that.
Right.
Really, man. Please. Let's just deal with Aaron Leinart. So, please, Mike Fishman. Every time I listen to him speak, it reminds me of Scott Boras. I get frustrated listening to Scott Boras speak. He's the analytics version of Scott Boras for me.
Absolutely.
It's almost like hearing, listening to Scott Boras like this week. I mean, he's already harping about the disconnect between the team's spending and the team's revenues. Basically, in his own lawyer talk, saying people are
Right.
not paying for my clients, and I don't like that. Instead
How
of just
bad did
saying,
he have to misread the market to ask for 9 years, 270 for Blake Snell?
the only way I could think about it is the Yankees offered him 5 and he countered with 9. To me, his compromise midpoint would have been 7 years, right? So instead of offering him 7, the compromise point would have been 6. It would have been a way of extracting an extra year for his client. But did you actually think your 31-year-old client was going to get 9 years at $30 million per? Like, that's a massive, massive misread. Like, in all
Yeah,
honesty, and the fact that the Yankees gave you one offer, you flat out rejected it, didn't leave room for negotiation. They still had the willingness to come back and up the AAV of the offer on a shorter term deal. That was ignored. Okay. So
yeah.
at this point, this is no longer Hal's fault or Hal Cashman's fault. Like, I can't, they did everything they could do.
It's
You know?
like with the Yamamoto situation. They did everything that they
Yeah.
could possibly do.
Yeah.
But sometimes you can't lead a horse to water.
No. And
Or
keep
you
in
can lead a horse to water, you just can't make him drink.
Yeah, exactly. And keep in mind,
Right.
folks, too, they offered Yamamoto that was obviously every team had to follow in that timeline. But like when they offered Yamamoto the deal, they were under the threshold. When they offered Snell the deal, they were under the threshold. Okay, both times. Then he
Both
rejected it,
times.
pivoted to Stroman. That's what put him over the threshold. Everything changed. The calculus changed at that point. So when they still came back with Snell, willing to show a shorter term deal but a higher, they knew they were over the threshold. They knew it was going to cost, but they also knew they weren't going to be hamstrung for 5, 6, 7 years.
Right.
So but the calculus is completely different now. You guys said you said no to them twice. You have no offers from anybody else. Why would the Yankees come back to you and bail you out? I don't want them to bail Boras out.
No. But
Heck
do you
no.
think he's going to hold any resentment for them not bailing him out by holding it against us with Soto next year?
Well, I won't have any credibility. I mean, we gave
That's a
you
good
2
point.
offers for Snell. I would exploit his uncredibility all over the place. We're the only team that made offers for you with Blake Snell twice. So
Twice.
holding that against us, really? So
Yeah.
and there's a time and a place for to capitalize on deals. I mean, if I were him, I would be focusing on getting these guys, try to take advantage of the Boston Red Sox situation here with an injury and get somebody signed, right?
Yeah.
And
You
just
would think that Monty would be all over that.
Yeah, and he had a Zoom meeting with them 4 weeks ago, and nothing happened. So, I know he's already voiced frustration about not being signed yet. But again, Scott Boras, I think it's important for Scott Boras to know, like, just because you want teams to overpay for your clients doesn't mean they have to. Okay, you can cry collusion all you want. Let's just lawyer talk. They're not buying into your tactics now.
No.
So, you lost your window at Snell. You lost your window at Montgomery. They have 22 days to ramp up, which is not enough time. So they're either going to have an abbreviated spring or an abbreviated season. Okay, one or the other.
When is the date that players can sign and not be attached to picks anymore? Is that after the trade deadline?
No, it's before. I think it's in May, late May, May 30, maybe May 31st.
Do you think that there's any way that they stay on the market till then?
I don't think both of them will be on the market. Maybe one of them, maybe Snell. I mean, this could be a Dallas Keuchel situation because that happened to
Could
Keuchel.
be.
He got the QO. Nobody bought it. Nobody bid on it. Then he had to wait until he wasn't attached to that stuff anymore. He wasn't the same after that. So it could happen.
No, he wasn't.
Snell. Monty's not attached to any of that stuff.
Right.
So because he was traded at the deadline. So I could, if anybody gets signed before that, I could see Monty being signed and not Snell. And if I'm Snell, I'm like, dude, like, this is grounds for firing my agent. You can go.
Oh, it has to be.
Yeah, you'll get paid anywhere with any agent. You won the Cy Young, but if you have an agent that's a little bit more grounded in reality in terms of contract negotiations, he might be signed already.
Yeah,
But,
he.
you know,
How is it? I can't believe that the Cy Young winner from the NL is still not signed, and we got 21 days to opening day, or 22. It makes zero sense to anybody.
I got nothing for you there. I don't like what. I have no idea.
I don't
No
either.
idea. It's just like, what the hell's going on? It's crazy, and this has Scott Boras written all over it. All over it. This is on your hands, Boris. This is on you, dude. You did Snell dirty. You did him dirty.
Yeah.
So, you know, and again, like, as much as certain fans say, well, I mean, why isn't Hal signing him? Hal tried twice already. There's no reason. There's no incentive for him to come back a third time. He doesn't have any other offers.
No.
You know, maybe
Hey,
the
Dominic.
you know,
I just
maybe the
wanted.
Giants. I don't know.
Dominic, Carlos is going to have interviews with Henry Lalane and Carlos LaGrange this week, so keep an eye out for those.
Oh,
I saw you guys talking about Lalane and those guys in the chat.
Oh, nice. And Lalani's another one, man. He's drawing some comparisons to Randy Johnson, CC Sabathia. He's a towering left-hander. He's got a good makeup. So hopefully he'll continue to develop.
He's the best pitching prospect that I have seen them have since Andy Pettitte.
Nice.
The mechanics are simple, repeatable. The delivery is smooth and easy. There's no command issues. He throws 4 pitches, 3 of them grade out as plus or better. He's a really, really special arm.
Does he have any reminiscent points of like a Brian Taylor?
No.
No?
No.
Different?
It's not the same kind of power. Brian Taylor was just pure raw power.
Yeah.
Lalane comes at you. He's so arms and elbows, and he's more like Chris Sale to me a little bit.
Prime Chris Sale, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the type, I mean, if he can turn into a version of Chris Sale, that'd be a hell of a get for the Yankees, man.
Yeah, it would.
Bring up. Huh. I mean, like him and like Chase Hampton or something like that would be awesome. If they can
those are the two that Brock Selvage is another one that I'm not counting out either. Brock is very, very good. Mid-90s left-hander, has the same pitch package as Andy Pettitte. Pitches with the glove in front of the eyes, just like Pettitte does.
Nice.
But he broke out in a big way towards the end of last year.
Yeah. And see, there's so many good prospects for the Yankees to talk about now. So it's like it's been a while since we've been able to talk about this many. It was only not even a handful of guys. Now we have like 5 handfuls of guys.
Yes.
You know, like that 1 through 30 is quality 1 through 30.
It is. It's deep. And what's crazier is we did 75 profiles on our site of write-ups of guys that we legitimately think have a chance to make the majors at some point.
Damn, 75 of them?
75.
Oh my God. That's crazy. That's impressive, though. It's crazy. That's impressive.
Yeah.
My God. Unbelievable, man. But I mean, a lot of people are saying a young Randy. Yeah, I mean, Randy Johnson also had control issues when he first came up. But there was no doubting he was a nasty throwing left-hander. Like once he
growing up in Seattle, I got to see all of that. And Randy Johnson was not good until he figured out how to command his stuff. And then, whoa.
Yeah. He was unbelievable. He was unbelievable once he figured it out. Like the best Randy Johnson I've ever seen was with Arizona.
Yeah.
I mean, he was great in Seattle, but with Arizona, with 4 consecutive Cy Young awards, like just, you know, that was as good as I've ever seen. Him and probably Prime Pedro were the 2 best in my generation. You know, and my favorite pitcher of all time is Roger Clemens. But
yeah,
Prime
Clemens is mine.
Mine too. Yeah, I mean, Prime Pedro was at a different level, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, and Randy Johnson was on a different level too. Like those are the two standouts, or for a shorter period of time for Pedro. But
Yeah,
Clemens
Randy went till he's 42.
Yep.
It was just unreal.
I mean, he's the only guy that's he's second of all time, I think, in strikeouts behind Nolan Ryan now, I think.
Right.
If I remember correctly. So
I believe that's correct.
It was unbelievable, man. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So I don't know if anybody we'll see anybody like that in the near future. I don't know. In all honesty, like even a Greg Maddux. I don't know if there's anybody right now capable of winning 300 games.
I don't think that there is.
Maybe 250, maybe, but 300 is a whole nother.
Guys don't pitch deep enough in games to win 15, 20 games a season consistently anymore.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, if you look at, like, I'll give you a name, Mark Burley. He threw 200 innings like 15 years in a row, and he won 15 games like 15 years. Like, was he not in the Hall of Fame? He was the portrait of durability and consistency. He's not now. He didn't even get, basic consideration for the Hall of Fame. Like I would have voted for him, Mark Burley.
So would I. But then you have a guy like Posada who doesn't make the ballot 2 years in a row. How is he not in consideration?
How does Joe Mauer get it and Posada doesn't?
Oh, don't get me started on that one. That one made me sick.
I was like, what the hell, man? Like, my God. I think Posada, he profiles better than Mike Piazza. Mike Piazza was a pure power guy. Posada was a better all-around player than Piazza was. Okay,
absolutely.
He's up there to a degree with Pudge, not defensively, but up there with Pudge. Like,
as total value at the catcher position.
Yeah, he was a special catcher, man. He really, really was. He was underrated, and I think Bernie Williams has a credible case for, at the very least, on the outside and looking outside in or close to the Hall of Fame. I can compare him to like Harold Baines. I think he was better than Harold Baines. I do.
I do too. I got to jump off, Jason. Thank you for having me on. I'd love to hop on with you.
I'm going to wrap up.
All right, bud. Have a wonderful night.
You too. Have a great night, everybody, too. Thanks so much for coming on. Later, brother. And peace and love to all. He is much appreciated. Damn right it's a dying breed. But have a great night, everybody. Burley, you got that right, Tyler. Thanks so much. As always, I appreciate all he is. Hit the like buttons on the way out. If anybody hasn't subscribed to the channel, please do too. We have a lot more conversations like this. Have a lot more great people coming on. So appreciate all he is. Have a great night. See y'all tomorrow.